Cece play patty cake on Daddy's head.
Yeah, she's gripping it right now.
Tell them you love them.
You're welcome. We love you.
Say love you.
Candy.
Oh yeah, shoot, that's in here. It's just gonna leave me here alone. Oh, we got some people joining. Bella, look, got people looking at us. Say hi.
Position of trust with respect to the victim in violation of Colorado Revised Statutes 18-3-102, subsection 1, subsection F. Do you understand?
Tell them how much fun it is.
It's amazing.
This place is nuts.
It's the most inhumane and vicious crime that I have handled out of the thousands of cases that I have seen.
I just want them back. I just want them to come back. And if they're not safe right now, that's what's tearing me apart. Because if they are safe, they're coming back. But if they're not, this has got to stop. Like, somebody has to come forward.
I love you too.
So Chris and I are super excited. So we're gonna get a massage after we lay by the pool for a little bit and maybe go to the beach again. And then we're going to go to the cocktail party. And we will be live there tonight. I don't want to be in it. Get lower.
If this stillness holds you, a quiet gesture helps sustain these long-form investigations.
Mr. Watts,
Taking a
why did you
moment to
kill
like the
your wife
video
and
or
two children?
subscribe allows stories like this to be examined with the time and care they demand, bringing hidden truths into focus, one layer at a time.
I don't want them to really go in the ocean.
Ready, set?
Life will never be the same without Shannon, Bella, and Celeste and Nico. Had all their lives to live. They were taken by a heartless one. This is the heartless one, the evil monster, who dare you take the lives of my daughters Shannon, Bella, Celeste, and Nico. I trusted you to take care of them, not kill them. And they also trusted you. The heartless monster, and then you take them out like trash. You disgust me.
Ready, set?
The pool opens in 2 weeks too.
What's the degrees today?
85 last I checked. 120.
Wow.
No, Cece.
Yeah.
Cece, get girl.
Oh God. Oh my gosh, are you kidding? She can climb that fence.
I wanted to say thank you for this moment. I want to take a moment to thank everyone who has prayed for our beloved family, who has sent gifts, cards to us from all over the world. I know God will put the evil people where they need to be. I also want to take the time to thank the town of Frederick, Greeley, FBI, the DA's office, the CBI, for exceptional work. We thank Nicole Atkinson, Shannon's neighbor Nathan, and his family. To me, they're our heroes. They really are. God bless. God makes no mistakes on who he puts in your life. Marriage is about love, trust, and friendship and unity. We marry for sickness and health, to death do us part. Our daughter Shannon loved you with all of her heart. Your children loved you to the moon and back. Shannon's family was her world. Shannon put a crown on your head. But unfortunately, the day that you took their life, God removed that crown. We loved you like a son. We trusted you. Your faithful wife trusted you. Your children adored you, and they also trusted you. Your daughter Bella Marie sang a song proudly. And I don't know if you got to see it, but it was, "Daddy, you're my hero." I have no idea who gave you the right to take their lives. But I know God and his mighty angels were there at that moment to bring them home to paradise. God gives us free will. So not only did you take the family of four, your family of four, you took your own life. I want the world to know that our daughter and her children were so loved by us. There will always be protected by God and his mighty angels. I didn't want death for you because that's not my right. Your life is between you and God now, and I pray that he has mercy for you. From Shannon's mother, Bella Marie, Celeste Catherine, and Nico Lee's Nana. Thank you, Your Honor.
Cece, play patty cake on Daddy's head. Go whack a daddy.
Don't do that, Cece. Don't do it. Sounds kind of hollow.
Whack a daddy. Don't spit.
Don't spit on Daddy, please. Oh, that's a shower.
Careful, Bella, don't fall, okay? Whack a daddy. Whack a daddy. One more time, Daddy. Whack a daddy. Whack.
Past 3 months I barely slept because I've been going through a lot of different emotions because I did not see this coming. You went from being my brother, my sister's protector, one of the most loved people in my family, to someone I will spend the rest of my life trying to understand. What gave you the right to put your hands on a woman, let alone my best friend, my beloved sister, your daughters, and your son? Why weren't they enough for you? In the blink of an eye, you took away my whole world, the people that mattered to me the most. Everything in my life I loved, your children. They trusted you. They loved you. They looked up to you because you promised to keep them safe. Instead, you turned on your family. My blood is boiling as I write these last words because they are the last you will ever hear from me. I can't even think of the right words to describe the betrayal and the hate I feel. And to be honest, you aren't even worth the time and effort it takes to put my pen to this paper. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't cry for my family. They were my whole world. All I do is ask myself why. Why would you do this? You don't deserve to be called a man. What kind of person slaughters the people that love them the most? Did you really think you would get away with this? Did you really think that this was your best option, to throw away your family like they were garbage? They deserve better and you know it. I hope you spend the rest of your life staring at the ceiling every night, being haunted by what you've done. None of us deserved this. Hearing my mother and father cry themselves to sleep in this hotel room causes me anguish that is beyond words. I can't describe how this feels, how badly my heart is breaking for my poor parents. We trusted you. You have taken away my family from this earth, but you can never take them from my heart. You took away my privilege of being an uncle to the most precious little girls I've ever known. I will never hear the words Uncle Frankie again, but you will never be called Dad again either. You'll never be able to put your hands on another woman, let alone my best friend, my beloved sister, and your son. I just can't comprehend how they weren't enough for you. Shanann, Bella, and Cece loved you more than anyone. You were their hero. How could you destroy the people who loved them the most? I pray that you never have a moment's peace or a good night's rest in the cage you'll spend every day of your life in. A cage you are privileged to live in because my family isn't evil like you. We begged the district attorney to spare your life because despite everything, we believe that no one has the right to take the life of another, even someone like you. I feel sorry for your family. I know the pain that they must feel knowing that they can't hug you, because that's how my mother, father, and I feel every time we cry for our family. Nothing hurts more than watching or hearing my family weep for their loved ones. I just wish that I could tell that you would tell the truth, but I know that that is asking for more than you are capable of. I stayed up all night writing this statement. I don't sleep because of you. My life will never be the same because of you, but at least my conscience is clear. I get to live free, but I can't say the same for you. I haven't slept in 2 days because I've been anxiously waiting for this moment, the moment I get to tell you how I feel, how this has affected my family and I. My family and I can finally grieve after today. If anything, we will come out of this stronger today than we were before, and we will continue to pray for your family. Sincerely, Frankie Rusick.
Thank you.
Everyone needs to deserve this. Everyone.
Absolutely everyone.
Tell them how much fun it is.
It's amazing.
This place is nuts. It is phenomenal.
We're gonna go have some fun. Get to hear what's coming out. It's absolutely exciting. We're super excited. We'll be back here live shortly, guys. Love you.
I'd like to say to the courts that Shannon, Bella, and Nico are loving, caring people. They love life. They love being around people who love them. They always had good times. This is the first time they went to the beach this year, and they loved it. But God only knows what happened that night. Life will never be the same without Shannon, Bella, and Celeste and Nico. Had all their lives to live. They were taken by a heartless one. This is the heartless one, the evil monster, who dare you take the lives of my daughter Shannon, Bella, Celeste, and Nico. I trusted you to take care of them, not kill them. And they also trusted you. The heartless monster, and then you take them out like trash. You disgust me. They were loving and caring people. You may have taken their bodies from me, but you will never take the love they had for me. They loved us more than you will ever know, because you don't know what love is, because if you did, you would not have killed them. You monster, thought you would get away with this. I don't know how. The cameras do not lie. You carry them out like trash of the house. Yes, I seen the videotape. You buried my daughter Shannon and Nico in a shallow grave, and then you put Bella and Celeste in huge containers of crude oil. You heartless monster. You have to live with this vision every day of your life, and I hope you see that every time you close your eyes at night. Oh, I forgot. You have no heart or feelings or love. Let me tell you something. I will think of them every day of my life, and I love them every day of my life. Prison is too good for you. This is hard to say, but may God have mercy on your soul. I hope you enjoy your new life. It's nothing like the one you had out here. May the courts have no mercy on you. It's hard every day. It hurts in so many ways. I have heard people say that you're not a monster. No, you are not. You're an evil monster. Thank you. Love you, Shannon, Bella, and Nico. Love you, Pop Up and Dad. And one other thing. And Shannon says she is super excited for justice today. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Girls.
Oh, CC
Girls.
Bella.
Okay, you want chocolate? No chocolate? If you want chocolate, you just get this bowl. You want this one, the bigger one? We're gonna go. Just wait. Hi guys, say
What's
hi
going
Bella. We gotta get you dressed, kid.
I
Look
know,
what Bella's
right?
eating. Bella's eating some of the ingredients.
She got a nice little bowl of chocolate chips.
Look at that. What is that, Bella? Can you show them? What is it? Is it chocolate? It's chocolate little mini morsels, right? Yeah, good job. So she's been eating my peanut butter and the chocolate morsels so far today. So we're gonna let a few more people hop on, and then we're gonna get cooking here, and we'll explain to you what we're cooking up over here. So
Yeah, welcome to the 12 days of Christmas, Lavelle Day, and even though I like to claim that I could probably cook, I can't at all. So I'm gonna let my wife do all the cooking. She's gonna make up some Thrive Bites for us.
and I'm gonna go wash my hands real fast.
Uh-oh. She's gonna leave me here alone. Oh, we got some people joining. Bella, look. Got people looking at us. Say hi. Wife's gonna be making up some Thrive Bites here in a second, so make sure you hop on and join us for the 12 days of Christmas. Bella's got some chocolate chips.
I need a Lavelle apron.
They
All
probably
right,
make
guys. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Amanda. Bella's showing you what she's eating. She's eating the ingredients. She's been eating the ingredients since I've been getting them prepared. So we're gonna make Thrive Bites today. Chris didn't want to go on live doing it because he didn't want to mess anything up. Not that you can mess anything up with Thrive Bites. It's so simple. Except for today, we're gonna double the recipe because we love the Thrive Bites. When you are craving something to eat, or junk food or whatever, you just pop a Thrive Bite and it fills you up, and it's really delicious. Thrive Bites, right?
Good job, Bella.
My little helper right here.
Thrive Bites.
So today, I will post in the feed the Thrive Bites. Bella, shh. Will you turn it down for me, please? So I'm going to post in the thread here today on how to make Thrive Bites and the recipe. So basically it calls for 1 packet of your lifestyle mix. Now you can use any flavor. I'm going to use vanilla here today. And hold on, honey. It calls for a cup of oats, a half a cup of peanut butter. Hi, Bonnie. Hey, Corey. Look at Bella. A half a cup of mini morsels. Now, I'm doubling the recipe, but still want to keep the calories down, so I'm only going to still do a half a cup of mini morsels. It does also, you can add anything into it, like coconut, peanuts, walnuts, whatever you want. It's up to you. You also add a 1/3 cup of honey, a half a cup of ground flaxseed, and a teaspoon of vanilla. I don't know if I mentioned peanut butter, but also half a cup of peanut butter. Again, I'm doubling the recipe, so everything I'm doing here today is going to be double. Hey, Madison. Take care of my dad while he's there with you this week. All right, guys. Sorry. So first I'm going to add my oats. These are so good. We can't keep them in the house. So then I added, the mini morsels. I add the ground flaxseed. So I always add all the ingredients. I'll just add the rest of Bella's. I add everything that's easy to mix. And so I'm gonna pour our premium lifestyle mix in a cup so you guys can see the consistency. It is micronized. It is fine. Very, 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 very fine. Hey, Christine. So if you guys, probably can't see that way here. So if you can see how finely micronized it is. I mean, literally it's thinner than flour. I don't know if you guys can see that really well. So, hey, Mandy. So The Thrive Premium Lifestyle Mix is so fine. I mean, it's very, very, very fine. Let me find the other one. So you add 2 of those because, like I said, I'm doubling the recipe. Hey, Sharon. And so now I just pretty much mix this. And then I'm going to add the honey, the peanut butter, and the vanilla. So look at this so far. Hey, Sarah. So look at our little Thrive Bites so far. They're no bake, super simple, super delicious. Like I said, like I'm going to Punta Cana in February, and I need to continue to, where'd Bella put my spoons? Hold on, guys. I think she took my, hold on. All right, I got 2 more. So if you're like me, yes, Michelle, they're super delicious. So now I'm gonna add the honey. So I'm going to Punta Cana in February, and as much as I wanna get into the gym, and I'm working on trying to find the time between work, you know, being a stay-at-home mom with the 2 girls, life and everything, it's really hard to get into, I just added the vanilla, sorry. It's really hard to get myself into the gym as much as I really want to. I've been doing some kind of like mini workouts at the house, like squatting and things like that, but it's hard for me to get to the gym. And being a stay-at-home mom during the day and working overnight shifts, you tend to snack a lot because you're always around food, and you know, whatever happens, you know, the kids are eating snacks, you jump on snacks. So this is my way of making my own snack, that instead of me grabbing a fruit roll-up or a bag of chips or any of that stuff, I just grab one of these, and I've made my own for the kids too. So they have their own little protein bites Bella loves. So now that all my ingredients are in here, I'm just going to mix it up really good. And as you guys know, messing with peanut butter, it's fun. So, sorry, I don't like a mess when I'm cooking. Not that I'm cooking. I know, Bonnie. So Bella does squats with me at the house because, you know, we all gotta work up the backside, right? So I am doing squats at the house, and it's super funny because she tries to do them with me. And so here comes Cece, the sumo wrestler, doing squats in my living room because she literally looks like a sumo wrestler when she's doing them. Yeah, Mandy, so that is my favorite side effect. And you know, the thing is, it's not a weight loss company. And as you know, I use you as an example because you are super skinny when you started Thriving. And so like, it's not a weight loss company, but you know what, with anything you can do, you can manage your weight, you know, with just the small things that you do with cutting out junk food. Like that's what has happened with me when I started the Thrive experience, is I no longer crave a lot of the junk foods as I used to crave. And being lazy from, sorry, I'm getting another spoon. Some of the, you know, filling in your nutritional gaps and craving more water, which is all I used to drink before, but I really crave a lot more water now. And on top of that, like I'm literally eating better. So that's really huge. You know, you got to take care of your body. You got to eat better. I'm changing the spoon because of the peanut butter. Hi, Carrie. So we're making mini Thrive, or not mini, but Thrive Bites here. So my hands are washed. Sometimes, you know, when you're in the kitchen, you just stick your hands in there. With the heat of your hands, it helps to melt the peanut butter a little bit, and so it kind of makes it easier to manage, so to speak. And then we're just going to literally roll these into balls, whatever size you like. I like to do them in like little minier sizes. So, and I'll kind of demonstrate here. Let me get this. So, get your hands dirty. I take about a teaspoon size. You can see that. And, you know, just pinch it into a ball. And so that's how big I make mine. They're probably a size of a quarter in round. Carrie, they're super delicious and very healthy for you too, except for the fact that they have little mini morsels in them, but I cut the recipe in half when it comes to the mini morsels. And then you can be creative. You can use the strawberry shake with it. You can use the apple pie and create it into like an apple pie little treat. I love the peanut butter because everyone in this house loves peanut butter and I can never keep it on hand. So it's been really good. Like I said, the girls love them. I don't use the Thrive Lifestyle mix for the girls, but I make them their own little mini bites so they feel like they're getting a treat with us too. Yes, Mandy. So these are so, like, honestly, they're really good too. But yeah, and you can do whatever you want with them. You can add anything. I'm not a coconut person, so I don't add coconut to mine, but you can add chunky peanut butter. You can add anything, you know, that you want. Stick them in the fridge, let them chill, and then put them in a little container, and then you're good to go. Grab and go. How many spoons are you required? Listen. I use like one sometimes, but like it's sticky, and usually I just use my hands a lot. Of course they're clean, but I'm trying to be proper, like professional TV cook. I don't qualify though. So give me 1 second. They're really good. You guys really have to try them. I will post them in the thread here. I am down 28 pounds since I started the Thrive Experience, and going to Punta Cana in February, I'd like to be down another, a good 5 to 10 pounds. And so this is a really good way for me to do that. And I'm going to show you kind of what they look like. I'm sure some of you have made some protein bites before. So it's super simple, you guys. Have fun with it. Bella was helping me out, but Chris took her away so she wouldn't talk on the video. Incorporate your kids, like make something for them. And this is super fun. Bella likes to roll these with me, and she does a really good job with it. And it's interaction with your children too at the same time. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna finish making these, and then I'll come back on later and show you what they look like when they're all done, even though they look the same, just a little firmer. So you guys have a great day, and I'll post the ingredients so Michelle, you can go ahead and continue shopping when you're at Walmart today. All right, guys, have a great day. These are great when you have an afternoon slump of work. Yes, so good. And honestly, like I eat them throughout the day, and they're really good snacks for when I work overnights, because when I work overnights, I tend to snack on a bunch of junk food, like things that aren't good for you. And so these have been a really good supplement instead of doing that. So instead of a bag of chips, I'm eating some Thrive Bites. All right, guys, have a great day.
I'm Cindy Watts.
Ron Watson. Thank you. And I have authorized you to make a statement to the court as paternal grandparents of the children. And if you choose not to make a statement, but your designee, Ms. Powers, chooses to, she can do so as well. How would you like to proceed today?
I read that? I want you to start, but I would like to read.
Who's going to be speaking today?
Your Honor, initially, they've asked me, and they're hoping that they have the strength to speak, but if they do not, they've written out their statements and asked me to finish for them. So
That would be fine. Who would like to go first?
if I could start, Your Honor. On behalf of the Watts, Your Honor, and to the community, we thank you for the opportunity and the recognition under the Victim Bill of Rights. We come today as the grandparents and the parent of the daughter and children whose life was taken in this case. We are not here to ask for leniency. We are not in any way condoning or tolerating the crime that has occurred and the pain that has been caused. We join in our daughter-in-law and grandchildren's family in saying this should never have happened. This is not condonable. This is something that we will never get over. We appreciate the consideration that everyone has paid, most especially the families that have lost everyone. We appreciate that they begged for Christopher's life. We agree and echo what they have said, that it is not his place to take anyone's life, nor would it be our place as a community to take his life. So we thank you for the opportunity and for every consideration and effort that's been put out. The prosecution in this case has in fact respected the Victim Bill of Rights. They took the time to explain that the information that my clients had at the time that they were interviewed was not correct. They were misinformed, they were searching for answers, they were not intending to cause any pain to anyone, and they appreciate that the prosecution answered their questions and gave them the time and the respect and the consideration so that they could tell this court and everyone in this community that the interview content was not their message, that they accept that their son has done this, that they accept that he chose to plead guilty, that he sought and requested their consent and agreement for a life sentence. They appreciate that he is given the opportunity to serve that life sentence. It is his responsibility, it is his sentence, and it is not enough to make up for what has done. We understand and we join the family in that we have questions. We don't know how such a thing could possibly happen, or that a man that was responsible for raising his children and protecting his wife would take the steps that he did, and that he would disregard their bodies and the love that he had for them and they had for him and everyone else, and take the gestures and put this community through the investigation and the discovery and the responsibility of bringing justice. We do not understand that. We do not think it was appropriate. We cannot begin to think that an explanation will ever justify it. My clients indicate that they understand that a full opportunity for a confession with all of the responsibility and accountability has not occurred. And they support the family and the request that that happen, if not today, at an appropriate time, in an appropriate manner, so that everyone can have peace, to understand to the best of their ability the details that they need and to have their questions answered. And by giving this opportunity of a life sentence, we hope that he embraces that moment. That had the death penalty been pursued, there would not have been an opportunity to be accountable and to give a full confession. And had the death penalty been sought, counsel would have fought for his life, the prosecutors would have been engaged in a multiple-year battle, the families would have been torn apart, this community would have had to subsidize it and endure it, and we have so much respect and gratefulness that that did not happen. We would strongly encourage Christopher Watts to give that full confession in the tone and in the timing that he thinks is appropriate with the guidance of his counsel. We feel that it would be appropriate and helpful to ease the pain and the suffering. But we also say we don't think that there's anything that he can say that will ever account for his behavior. There's nothing that can be done to cure the harm he has caused. And he has the responsibility to serve his sentence with dignity and with regard for everyone, and to spend every breath that he has left in an atonement for what he has done. Do you want to read it?
Yes. If I could just have you state your name for the record.
Cindy Watts.
Thank you.
My name is Cindy Watts. I am the grandmother of two beautiful granddaughters, Bella Marie, Celeste Catherine Watts. I am also the mother of Christopher Watts, who I will be directing most of my statement to. First, I'd like to begin by recognizing the absolute horror of this crime and acknowledging the devastating loss that both the Rusek family as well as our family have faced. Our families have been irreparably broken by the needless deaths of Shanann, Bella, Cece, and Nico. This is something we will never get over. We will always mourn the loss of our family, and in that we are united in our grief. I am still struggling to understand how and why this tragedy occurred. I may never be able to understand and accept it, but I pray for peace and healing for all of us. Now to my son Christopher. I have known you since the day you were born into this world. I have watched you grow from a quiet and sweet, curious child who Bella reminded me so much of, to a young man who worked hard in sports and later mechanics to achieve your goals. You are a good friend, brother, father, and son. We have loved you from the beginning, and we still love you now. This might be hard for some to understand, how I can sit here under these circumstances and tell you, although we are heartbroken, although we can't imagine what could have led us to this day, but we love you. Maybe you can't believe it either. As the Lord said in Jeremiah 3:31, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore, I have continued my faithfulness to you. And you, as your mother, Chris, I have always loved you, and I still do. I hate what has happened. Your father and sister and I are struggling to understand why. But we will remain faithful as your family, just as God remains faithful because of his unconditional love for us all. We love you, and we forgive you, son.
Thank you.
Judge, if I could read Mr. Watts' statement.
Yes.
My name is Ronnie Watts, and I am the grandfather of Bella, Celeste, Nico Watts, and I am the father of Shannon. I am the father of Christopher Watts as well. And one of the most important things I've done in my life is to raise my children and to watch as they started their own families. I spent many years coaching Little League and talking to my son, taking him to the races, and sharing my love and knowledge of cars with him. He was just as involved with his girls. I believe he loves his girls. I know he does. This tragedy has impacted my family in so many ways. Beyond losing my precious grandchildren, our beloved daughter-in-law, we are forced to question everything. We still don't have all the answers, and I hope one day, Christopher, you can help us. Chris, I want to talk to you as a father and son. You are here today accepting responsibility, but I want to tell you this now. I love you. Nothing will ever change that. And I want you to find peace. And today is your first step. The Bible says if we confess our sins, God is faithful and just and will forgive us. Chris, I forgive you, and your sister forgives you, and we will never abandon you, and we love you. Dad. Judge, thank you for the opportunity to address the court.
Hey everybody! So I'm home with the family, and they're excited to try the new Pro Bars, and they came in, I think, yesterday. So we have cookies and cream, and we have lemon meringue. Who wants Pro Bars?
I do.
All right, so do you guys want lemon meringue first, or do you want cookies and cream?
Cookies.
Cookies?
I want that.
You want the lemon meringue? All right, since I have this one open, let's try this one first, okay?
Cookies and cream.
And Daddy's gonna try it too.
Yeah. Are you both?
Yes, so everyone's gonna try Chris Crumb cookies and cream. All right, Bella gets cookies and cream, Cece gets cookies and cream.
Ready?
Ready?
Set.
You're the taste testers.
Yummy.
Is it yummy? What's it taste like?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. What else?
Watermelon.
Watermelon. What's it taste like, Cece?
Chocolate.
Chocolate?
Uh-huh.
Is it delicious? Daddy?
Oreo wrapped with vanilla. It's nice.
Oreo wrapped in vanilla? Is it yummy, Cece? Is that good, Bella? I think they like cookies and cream. Okay, so let's try the lemon meringue. Hey everybody. So, a little crazy over here. Cece loves the cookies and cream.
You like it? Yeah, nothing. Good thing.
Don't mind me. It's been a long travel day yesterday. Been cleaning, regrouping today. Hey Jen. Okay, so Chris, this is the lemon meringue. Nope, that's Daddy's. Here's yours. Wait, don't take. Wait. Here, Bella. Okay, this one's lemon meringue. It's like the pie, but better because I don't like the pie.
Ready, set, go.
Ready? Hey, Jessica.
That's so good.
How's that taste, Cece?
Good.
Good? Yeah? Do you like that one better?
Me too. I like it.
What's it taste like?
You like lemon meringue pie? Straight out the box.
Bella, what's it taste like?
I don't like it.
You don't like that one? Bella doesn't like that one. That's okay.
Okay.
You like the birthday cake, right? And the cookies and cream? Yep. Dieter, do you want some? Yeah, Dieter wants some. All right, so which one's your favorite out of all the Pro Bars? Hey, Wendy.
I would say lemon meringue.
Lemon meringue? What's your favorite, Cece?
Birthday.
Birthday? Mommy's favorite. What's your favorite? The cookies and cream? Wow.
We have to keep 3 on stock.
It's a good thing. How do I turn this around? It's a good thing that I have all 3 of the favorites in the house. Cinnamon rolls were sold out of it here at the house.
You like it?
I want dip and cream.
You want dip and ranch? You want ranch dip and chips? Jess, I have them all. I just ate all of the cinnamon rolls. Cece actually really likes the cinnamon rolls too. Look at Bella.
Cookies and cream. We got Cookie Monster.
I'm guessing you like it, kiddo. You like it? You want the lemon meringue, Cece?
No, she didn't like that one.
Daddy will finish it.
Yep.
All right, you guys. So that's our family. Making sure I didn't miss anything. Hey, everybody. So we're a mixed family. Apparently, birthday cake is a winner for me and Cece. Bella loves the cookies and cream, and Chris is lemon meringue. Surprisingly, because he's a cookies and cream guy.
Yeah.
So super excited. I love it that it's a healthy snack, and Cece can eat it because she has a tree nut allergy. And none of our products are made in a facility that handles nuts at all. So Cece can have them. There's 0 nuts in them, and it's the only go-to bar. We can't do processed bars. We can't do anything like that because Cece can't have any of it because it's all processed in a plant where there's tree nuts or nuts. So it's really nice that she can have it. It's a quick snack for mommy. It's always in my bag, and I can just give it to her. And I heard you, baby. I heard you. She wants ranch and dip. She's my child. Thanks, Kat. So it's really nice. It's convenient for me as a mom that I can just carry them in my purse and always have something for her. So super excited. The Pro Bars are amazing. They're a great snack, low carbs, low sugar, 2 grams of sugar in all of them, I think. But yeah, 2 grams of sugar and 20 grams of protein. So they're really good for you. So you guys have a great night. Love you. And we're going to be, Cece and I are fighting over the birthday cake. So, all right. Say bye.
Bye.
See ya.
All right. Bye, guys.
This matter comes on for a first appearance. Mr. Warren, correct me if I'm wrong, but formal charges have not been filed yet?
That's correct, Your Honor. The defendant was arrested. Formal charges have not been filed. On my calculation, I believe they will be due to the court at 3:30 on Monday afternoon.
Thank you. Mr. Mercer, anything you would like to say about that?
Not regarding that issue, thank you.
So the court has reviewed a affidavit in support of a warrantless arrest. The court has found probable cause for the arrest. Specifically, I see that Mr. Watts was arrested for 3 counts of first-degree murder. each a Class 1 felony, and 3 counts of tampering with a deceased human body, each a Class 3 felony. Again, these are only charges that are named in the affidavit in support of the warrantless arrest. It's the district attorney's office who will ultimately decide what charges, if any, are going to be filed. And Mr. Merson, would you like me to advise your client of his rights pursuant to Rule 5?
Yes, please.
Thank you. So, Mr. Watts, I would like you to listen carefully to the rights that you have, okay?
Thank you.
And so first, you don't need to make any statements. Any statements you make can and may be used against you. Do you understand?
Yes.
You have the right to counsel. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you are indigent, you have the right to request the appointment of counsel or consult with a public defender before any further proceedings are held. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Merson is the head of the public defender's office, and he is going to represent you today and potentially in the future. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any plea that you make must be made voluntarily and not the result of undue influence or coercion. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Right now, charges have not been filed, so this is a limited advisement. I intend to bring you back next week once formal charges are filed on Monday, so I can give you a full advisement. But I will tell you that at this point, the court is not authorizing any bail. Once I know what the official charges are that are filed by the district attorney's office, I'll inform you the nature of the charges. If charges are filed, you have the right to a jury trial, and you have the right to demand and receive a preliminary hearing within a reasonable time to determine whether probable cause exists to believe that you committed any of the charges that are filed by the district attorney's office. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I believe that your lawyer has filed about 16 or so motions on your behalf, including a request for a preliminary hearing. Do you agree, Mr. Merson, that that time period, that 35 days to have a preliminary hearing, doesn't begin until your client appears in court next week once formal charges are filed?
I agree.
And I have not seen, correct me if I'm wrong, a proof positive, presumptive great written motion by your office.
Not at this point, Judge.
Okay. Okay. And so would you like me to further advise your client of any additional rights?
No, thank you.
Mr. Rourke, what kind of conditions, if any, are you requesting for the protection order given the circumstances?
Judge, I'm going to defer to Mr. Wren.
Mr. Wren?
People are simply asking for the standard protection order under Title 18 at this point, given the deceased nature of the victims.
And I assume based on the no bond hold, the issue of possessing or having access to or control over a firearm or any ammunition is a non-issue until and if bond is authorized.
That's correct.
Thank you. So, Mr. Watts, I am going to issue a protection order pursuant to Colorado Revised Statutes 18-1-1001. It's going to state that you not harass, molest, intimidate, retaliate against any witness involved in this case. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you were to violate the statutory protection order, it's a Class 1 misdemeanor. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And could we talk about some of them? I realize that things are happening very quickly. Motions were filed today. There hasn't been a lot of time to object or to file responses. Mr. Merson has filed a number of motions, some of which potentially may be time sensitive. My intention is for the parties to come back to court next Tuesday so I could advise Mr. Watts of his formal charges that are filed no later than 3:30 on Monday. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be requiring the prosecutor to file a response between now and Tuesday, or whether we can resolve some of these issues now. For example, the preservation of certain evidence, like police notes, handwritten notes, like touch DNA evidence, things of that nature.
Your Honor, I think we can address some of these pretty quickly, but certainly not all of them. We would be asking for time to file a written response to some of them.
Yeah, I'm just concerned about the time that elapses between now and Tuesday, and I want to make sure that the evidence that's being requested to be preserved is preserved.
Understood.
So, for example, can you, any objection for me to order that all law enforcement, both state and federal, that were involved in this case, preserve their handwritten notes? Any objection to that?
No.
So I will grant that request. Did you read Mr. Merson's motion with regard to touch DNA?
I believe that was filed under seal, and I have not seen it.
It was suppressed, so they should have had access to it.
Gail, Christy, could you put out a copy for Mr. Wren? Again, I appreciate the fact that this happened very quickly, and so let me get you a copy of that, a hard copy of that, and then you can review it and let me know what your thoughts are. Is there an autopsy that's scheduled to be conducted in the near future?
Not yet.
It was a
16.
16?
Yes. And while we're waiting, Mr. Merson, I noticed that...
Actually, I'm sorry to interrupt, Judge. It was D17.
D17?
Yeah, sorry.
So I see that your motions are numbered, but I'm missing 9 through 15.
Yeah, I basically counted them and then started off. There were some other people in my office that had filed those other pleadings and not numbered them.
I just want to make sure I'm not missing something.
I don't think you are. I think many of them concern the media issue. On the way over here, the deputies advised the court had already ruled on that. So to a certain extent, some of that is moot. But if we are going to take a D17, in light of the fact that the affidavit is still sealed, I would ask that the court seal the courtroom and just allow the parties to argue that, because it will require me to talk about information in the affidavit.
Well, why don't we give Mr. Wren an opportunity and let me know whether, without talking about the substance, whether he has an objection or not. It's really more of putting the prosecution on notice than anything else. Why don't you read it first and let me know what you think. You can give it to the prosecution.
Steve.
Extra.
I might. It was one of the... So, I did add the house to this. So the D17 will have the house on it as well. And that's the gist of it. At this point, I'm concerned about whether or not the house is sealed off. Which is not. It's been released by law enforcement. Okay. When was that? Late last night. Okay. All right. And I guess that part of the motion would be put at this point. Mostly concerns what's in this motion. So, okay.
If I could take a moment to read this.
Mr. Mercer, anything associated? Mr. Wren.
Thank you.
I'm okay with continuing it. I just don't want there to be any time-sensitive issues between now and next Tuesday that we should have handled today.
I think we need to address it today. As I indicated, Judge, at this point, there's not an autopsy scheduled or autopsies. I don't know when that might happen. I don't know if it would happen before Tuesday or not. With respect to this motion, and does the court want to address Mr. Merson's concerns about clearing the courtroom, given the sealed nature of this, or may I speak for you?
Well, it was I think it's based on the sealing of the affidavit in support of the warrantless arrest, and so it was your motion to seal. So if you think the reasons why you requested the affidavit to be sealed are going to be compromised, we could do this in camera. If you believe it's not, then we can talk about it publicly.
I'm not worried about the compromising nature of the affidavit. I will tell the court and make a record that the prosecution has provided Mr. Merson with a copy of the affidavit, despite the fact that it was sealed to the public.
I am concerned about this being discussed in a non-in-camera setting. My concerns revolve around the issues I brought up and the objections to expanded media coverage. It's an ongoing investigation at this point. I have concerns about, what would be discussed and how that would implicate Mr. Watts' right to a fair trial and his due process right. So my request is that the court seal the courtroom so we can discuss this.
Mr. Wren?
Move that to the discretion of the court.
It seems to me, based on everything I've heard, that The affidavit's going to be released at some point. It was the prosecution who requested the sealing of the affidavit. They're not concerned about this being compromised, the investigation being compromised. And so I think we've talked about this publicly. Mr. Wren?
And when you say talk about this, are we still talking about
Yes.
D17,
Yes.
which was also filed under seal?
Yes.
So with respect to paragraph number 3, Judge, our concerns relate to the way this is worded. As the court knows, the pathologist goes through a very extensive process when conducting an autopsy, much of which is governed by statute. I think most of what he's asking for is standard procedure for an autopsy conducted in this jurisdiction and would be done. However, I have concerns about the way this is phrased in that it orders collection of trace DNA and touch DNA from certain areas of bodies that at this point we don't even have, frankly. Second, we don't know if that trace DNA is going to even exist if we have the bodies. So there's no way to order us to find something that may or may not exist.
I think when I read the motion, it essentially is putting the prosecution on notice that at some point they may be in possession of exculpatory evidence, and it's their duty to make reasonable efforts to preserve that and ultimately provide that to the defense. And so I think they're on notice by the mere fact that we're talking about this, that Mr. Wren got a copy of the motion, and if this becomes an issue later on, we can litigate this, and there's some pretty significant sanctions for the destruction of exculpatory evidence. Okay, so that will be the ruling of the court.
Your Honor, may I ask one clarifying question? Because the way that the motion is titled talks about the collection of touch or trace DNA at 2825 Saratoga Trail as well as during the autopsy, but the body of the motion does not. I want to make sure that Mr. Merson is aware that the home where the homicides were alleged to have occurred has been released by law enforcement, was released as of about midnight last night. So even as we stand today, we are not in a position to be able to go back in and collect trace DNA from that home. So I just want to make clear that the ruling of the court does not require us to do anything affirmative with respect to the home.
And Mr. Wren advised me that the government is no longer in control of the home, so I'm aware of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With regard to the motion for protective order, essentially for nobody to speak to Mr. Watts other than his attorneys and investigators and support staff, I'm assuming there's no objection to that?
Correct.
You'll put law enforcement on notice on that issue?
Yes.
Okay. Any other time-sensitive issues that cannot wait until next Tuesday?
Nothing from the legal.
Mr. Merson?
May I just have 1 second?
Sure.
Nothing further. Thanks, Judge.
Okay, and I would just respectfully ask that if you file anything between now and next Tuesday, certainly into the future, if you could advise your office of this, if there's more than one lawyer working on it, please number every pleading that's filed, and for the prosecution as well, maybe you can use letters. And that way I know that I'm not missing something. That would be wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll see. Let's pick a time next Tuesday. I know everybody's really busy. I just had some time open up. And so what's a convenient time for everybody to be here? I'm also going to be asking if there's victim rights compliance today and see if there's a more convenient time for whoever the victim rights representative is.
We have been in communication with the family of the victims. We are in VRA compliance with that, based on that effort. At this point, we don't have any specific times that are good or bad for the family, but we will certainly contact them as soon as we leave and clarify their availability for next Tuesday.
How about the attorneys? What's a good time for you to be here on Tuesday?
Anytime, Judge. I'll make it work.
The motion's hearing in Division 12 at 2 o'clock. That'll probably last an hour. Otherwise, I'm free.
About 10 o'clock.
That's fine.
Okay. So the plan is next Tuesday, 10 o'clock, we're going to know whether the prosecution filed formal charges or not, and the deadline for that would be Monday at 3:30. I will give Mr. Watts a more detailed advisement, and then we'll decide what the next step is going to be. Does that work for everybody?
Yeah, one more thing.
Yes.
I would just ask the court order that the prosecution give the defense notice as to if an autopsy is to be scheduled, when that is scheduled, so that we can file the appropriate motions. I think you can appreciate why we would want notice of that.
Yes. Any objection to that?
Not as to the notice issue.
Yeah, I'm not going to be ordering that they, at this point, I'm not ordering that they be allowed to be present during the autopsy. Why don't we say 48 hours notice? Is that reasonable?
Yes, and if I learn that information over the weekend, I'll email Mr. Mercer.
Okay with you, Mr. Mercer?
That's fine, thank you.
They wouldn't do the autopsy over the weekend, though, would they?
No, I don't believe so.
They would?
They're going to try to get it done soon. So 48 hours is probably not going to be. We've all certainly seen autopsies scheduled less than 48 hours after the bodies are recovered. So we will do our best to comply with the notice requirements as soon as we learn the information.
Who would be making the decision on when to perform an autopsy?
The coroner's office.
So can you communicate with them that there's an order that there would be 48 hours notice, and if they, for whatever reason, can't comply with that, you'll let Mr. Mercer know?
Is the court ordering that the autopsy not be conducted earlier than 48 hours after the recovery of the bodies?
No.
Okay.
What I'm saying is I'm ordering that you notify the coroner that there's an order that Mr. Mercer is entitled to 48 hours notice, and if they are intending to perform the autopsy sooner than that, they need to let you know before it starts. You can give Mr. Mercer reasonable notice.
Yes, sir.
Anything else you can think of between now and next Tuesday that we can resolve today?
Yeah.
Nothing from the prosecution.
Nothing from the defense, thanks.
Okay. All right, we'll see you next Tuesday at 10 o'clock. When we are Good morning. You're welcome to be seated. Okay, we are on the record. We are in Division 17 of the Weld County District Court, and we are here regarding Weld County case number 18CR2003, people of the state of Colorado versus Christopher Lee Watts. My name is Marcelo Cupcom, a district court judge here in Weld County, and I will be the presiding judge in this case. If I can please have the lawyers identify themselves for the record, starting with the prosecution.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Rourke on behalf of the people.
Patrick Roach on behalf of the people. Your Honor, John Walsh on behalf of the defense. Jim Merson on behalf of Mr. Watts. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Rourke, do you want to make a record regarding compliance with the Victims' Rights Act?
Yes, Your Honor. We are in compliance with the Victims' Rights Act. Frank Rusick, who is Shanann Watts' father, is present in the courtroom, as is Frankie Rusick, who is Shanann Watts' brother. They are present in the courtroom, and we have advised them of the purpose of today's hearing and what we expect to occur.
Thank you. Mr. Watts, last week I gave you a limited advisement because charges had not been filed. They have now been filed, so I'm going to give you a full advisement. If at any time you have any questions, please let me know, and welcome also to certainly consult with your attorneys, okay? So, you do not need to make any statements. Any statement you make can be used against you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to be represented by counsel, and if you're indigent, you have the right to request the appointment of counsel or consult with the public defender before any further proceedings are held. And I see that you've taken advantage of that right. Any plea that you make must be made voluntarily and not the result of undue influence or coercion. You understand?
Yes, sir.
At this point, I have denied your right to bail, given the charges. You can certainly have a conversation shortly about that issue. You have the right to understand the nature of the charges. We'll go over them in a moment. You have the right to a jury trial. You also have the right to demand and receive a preliminary hearing within a reasonable time to determine whether probable cause exists to believe that the offenses charged were committed by you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I assume that the defense has received a copy of the complaint and information. Mr. Watts will explain to you what you have been formally charged with and what the possible penalties are. Count 1 alleges that on or about August 13th, 2018, Christopher Lee Watts unlawfully, feloniously, after deliberation, and with the intent to cause the death of a person other than himself, caused the death of Shanna Watts in violation of Colorado Revised Statutes 18-3-102, subsection 1, subsection 8. And that crime is classified as murder in the first degree of class 1 felony. Do you understand? Count 2 alleges murder in the first degree, also a class 1 felony, and it reads that between and including August 12, 2018 and August 13, 2018, Christopher Lee Watts unlawfully, feloniously, after deliberation, and with the intent to cause the death of a person other than himself, caused the death of Bella Watts in violation of Colorado Revised Statutes 18-3-102, subsection 1, subsection 8. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Count 3 alleges murder in the first degree, a class 1 felony, and specifically it alleges that between and including August 12, 2018 and August 13, 2018, Christopher Lee Watts unlawfully, feloniously, after deliberation, and with the intent to cause the death of a person other than himself, caused the death of Celeste Watts in violation of Colorado Revised Statutes 18-3-102, subsection 1, subsection 8. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Count 4 alleges murder in the first degree, a class 1 felony. It alleges that between and including August 12, 2018 and August 13, 2018, Christopher Lee Watts unlawfully, feloniously, and knowingly caused the death of Bella Watts, a child who had not yet attained 12 years of age, and the defendant was in the position of trust with respect to the victim in violation of Colorado Revised Statutes 18-3-102, subsection 1, subsection F. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Count 5 alleges murder in the first degree, a class 1 felony. It alleges that between and including August 12, 2018 and August 13, 2018, Christopher Lee Watts unlawfully, feloniously, and knowingly caused the death of Celeste Watts, a child who had not yet attained 12 years of age, and the defendant was in a position of trust with respect to the victim in violation of Colorado Revised Statutes 18-3-102, subsection 1, subsection F. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
With regard to these first 5 counts, the minimum sentence that the court could impose if convicted is life imprisonment in the Colorado Department of Corrections, and the maximum sentence is death. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Let me also point out that pursuant to Rule 32.1 of the Rules of Criminal Procedure, the prosecutor would have to file a written statement of intent to seek the death penalty no later than 63 days after arraignment. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If a life imprisonment sentence was imposed, it would be without the possibility of parole. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Count 6 alleges a Class 2 felony of unlawful termination of pregnancy in the first degree. Specifically, it alleges that on or about August 13, 2018, Christopher Lee Watts, with the intent to terminate unlawfully the pregnancy of a woman, namely Shanann Watts, feloniously and unlawfully terminated the pregnancy of the woman. Further, the woman died as a result of the unlawful termination of the pregnancy in violation of Colorado Revised Statutes 18-3.5-103. Do you understand? Yes, sir. The possible penalties, if convicted for this crime, is a mandatory minimum 16 years in prison up to 48 years in prison, followed by an additional mandatory parole period of 5 years. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Count 7 alleges tampering with a deceased human body, a Class 3 felony. It alleges that on or about August 13, 2018, Christopher Lee Watts, believing that an official proceeding was pending, in progress, or about to be instituted, and acting without legal right or authority, unlawfully and feloniously, willfully destroyed, mutilated, concealed, removed, or altered a human body, part of a human body, or human remains with the intent to impair it or their appearance or availability in the official proceedings in violation of Colorado Revised Statutes 18-8-610.5. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Count 8 alleges also tampering with a deceased human body, a Class 3 felony. It alleges that on or about August 13, 2018, Christopher Lee Watts, believing that an official proceeding was pending, in progress, or about to be instituted, and acting without legal right or authority, unlawfully and feloniously, willfully destroyed, mutilated, concealed, removed, or altered a human body, part of a human body, or human remains with the intent to impair its or their appearance or availability in the official proceeding in violation of Colorado Revised Statutes 18-8-610.5. Do you understand? Yes, sir. And finally, count 9 alleges tampering with a deceased human body, a Class 3 felony. It alleges that on or about August 13, 2018, Christopher Lee Watts, believing that an official proceeding was pending, in progress, or about to be instituted, and acting without legal right or authority, unlawfully and feloniously, willfully destroyed, mutilated, concealed, removed, or altered a human body, part of a human body, or human remains with the intent to impair its or their appearance or availability in the official proceeding in violation of Colorado Revised Statutes 18-8-610.5. With regard to counts 7, 8, and 9, those Class 3 felonies carry a presumptive range of 4 to 12 years in the Colorado Department of Corrections. If there were sufficient mitigating circumstances, the minimum could be as low as 2 years. If there were sufficient aggravating circumstances, as many as 24 years. And any prison sentence would be followed by an additional mandatory parole period of 3 years. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Do you have any questions about what I've said so far? Yes, sir. And Mr. Merston, has your office filed a written intent to seek a proof evident presumptive rate hearing?
Not yet, Judge, but we will be filing that. This case will be Mr. Walsh's and Ms. Harrell's. They will be attorneys listed on the, I believe, the most recent pleading from the defense.
Okay, thank you. And I would point out, Mr. Watts, that the prosecution also indicated in the complaint and information that these were acts of domestic violence. Do you understand that? Yes, okay, thank you. And so, Mr. Walsh, what is your request today?
Your Honor, considering that we haven't received any discovery of the case, we're not in a good position at this point to advise the court about what kind of time we'll need. My suggestion to the court is that the court allow Mr. Watts to reserve the preliminary hearing in the case, reserve the proof evident hearing, and set the matter for a status conference about 60 days out.
So just to be clear, he is waiving his right to have a preliminary hearing within 35 days, that he's not seeking a proof evident presumption rate hearing prior to the setting of the status conference in about 60 days, but he's reserving his right to have those hearings in the future, but not necessarily
within 35 days, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor, we've spoken about those issues.
And do you understand what we're talking about, Mr. Watts?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about that? Okay. And Mr. Rourke, do you have any objection to that request?
No, Your Honor, that seems like the prudent way to proceed at this point.
Okay. Let me give you a date that, how does, so 60 days is about October 20th or so. I have October 11th. Does that date work for the parties? I can go a little bit further if you like as well.
I think a little bit further would make sense, Your Honor. Thank you.
How about November 19th? While we're waiting for lawyers to look, let me make a record that the court's going to find that Mr. Watts is knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily waiving his right to have a preliminary hearing within 35 days. And while he has not asked for a proof evident presumption grade hearing yet, I'm told that he will, but he's not requesting that hearing prior to the status conference that we're setting today. Agreed?
Yes. That date works fine with the defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
Your Honor, I spoke to the Rusiks, and that is fine with the people as well as the witness.
How is late morning on November 19th?
Anytime, Your Honor. Late morning is fine.
Very good. How about 10:30?
That will work for the people.
And that will be in Division 16. I apologize for the bouncing around of division, but my courtroom obviously is not big enough, and I will keep you updated on where the divisions are going to be, but the next court date will be in Division 16. Are there any other questions, comments, concerns, anything that we can address today before us recessing?
I think there are a couple of things outstanding, Your Honor, and first I wanted to address one very ministerial point of clarification with respect to the standing decorum order that the court entered yesterday. By its terms, and when the court defines the applicable areas, that includes my office, specifically the boundaries of the district attorney's office. I just wanted to make a request for clarification that the terms of this order do not apply to the conduct that occurs within my office itself.
Agreed.
Thank you. Otherwise, I have provided a copy of this to the employees of my office, and we will be providing it to law enforcement after this hearing is fine.
Thank you. I also intend on issuing a case management order later today, so be on the lookout for that.
I don't know if the court has the desire at this point this morning to address a couple of the other outstanding motions that the Public Defender's Office has filed that we had entered or filed responses to. We have not addressed motions 2, 3, 5, and 7. And those are the defense motions 2, 3, 5, and 7. And for the record, our responses were C, D, E, and F.
I don't have those motions in front of me, but I know that I issued a number of written orders yesterday. Did you receive those?
I received written orders, but not as it relates to those 4, so perhaps they just haven't reached my desk yet.
If they haven't yet, I will issue a written ruling and we'll be getting them shortly. I issued a number of orders yesterday.
Your Honor, does that include, I did get the order on motion 5 and motion 7. Does that include motions 2 and 3 then that the court would?
Remind me what 2 and 3 are again?
Motion 2 is the motion to allow confidential defense experts to be present for any testing. And we did have a bit of additional argument on that if the court wanted to hear it. Motion 3 is a motion for a protective order.
I prefer that you put it in writing and then I'll issue a written order with regard to that. Is that something that's time sensitive?
I think it could be, Your Honor. I can't speak for the district attorney, but it could be.
I can tell the court, understanding what Mr. Walsh is referring to in motion number 2, it is not something that is going to occur in the next day or 2, so it's not time sensitive in that respect.
So you'll be received, if you want to put something in writing, you're welcome to, and I will issue a written order in a timely manner.
Does the court want to give us a deadline for that?
Sure. When would you like to file a response?
I can have it done in a day or 2.
Okay. And so, do you have control, Mr. Warren, as to when the testing is going to occur?
Absolutely. I can certainly make clear to our forensic agents that pending the litigation or the receipt of a court order on this, that we will not do any forensic testing.
That'd be great. So did you want to have time to file a reply to the response?
If necessary, if I could have 3 business days to file a response to whatever Mr. Walsh files in the next couple of days, I would appreciate that.
Okay, so Mr. Walsh, can you have something filed by close of business tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so close of business on Monday, Mr. Walsh?
Yes, sir.
Then I'll have something to the parties by midweek next week.
Thank you.
Any other issues that we can resolve today?
Not from the people, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor. Okay. Okay, we are in recess. Thank you for your time.
Your Honor, there are no words to adequately describe the unimaginable tragedy that brings us before this court today. By my comments, I'm not even going to try to express the horror, the pain, or the suffering that the defendant has caused to these families, to this community, and to all who were a part of this investigation. However, I do want to spend a few minutes sharing with the court the details of the crime, as so far you've only had an opportunity to review the affidavit and a few facts here and there that have been offered to the court in the motions and pleadings that have been filed. The questions that have screamed out to anyone who will listen since August 13th of 2018 are why and how? Why did this have to happen? How could a seemingly normal husband and father annihilate his entire family? For what? These are the questions that only one individual in this courtroom or on this planet knows the answers to. I fully expect we will not receive the answers to these questions today, nor will we at any point in the future. I don't expect that he will ever tell the truth about what truly happened or why. Even if he did, there is no rational way that any human being could find those answers acceptable responses to such horrific questions. The best we can do is try to piece together some kind of understanding from the evidence that is available to us. And the evidence tells us this: the defendant coldly and deliberately ended 4 lives, not in a fit of rage, not by way of accident, but in a calculated and sickening manner. Shanann was 34 years old. She had married the defendant in November of 2012. Over the weekend leading up to August 13th, she had been at a work conference in Phoenix, Arizona, and returned home in the early morning hours of August 13th. We know that she got home about 1:45 in the morning. The doorbell camera on their home shows her arriving back home from the airport. Shortly thereafter, at least according to the defendant, they had what he referred to as an emotional conversation about the state of their marriage and about what their lives would look like going forward. What was said during that emotional conversation, only he knows. What we do know is that shortly after that, the defendant strangled her to death with his own hands. We know that he slowly took her life the morning of August 13th. We know that this was not done in an uncontrolled, vengeful manner that he tried to describe to agents from CBI and the FBI. If that were the case, you would expect to see vicious, horrible bruising about her neck, shoulders, and face. You would expect to see the hyoid bone in her neck broken. You would expect to see some kind of defensive wounds on his body as she struggled and fought for her own life. None of those are present. The only injuries that were on Shanann's body were one set of finger or bruising, what appeared to be fingernail or finger mark bruising to the right side of her neck. We know that our experts will tell us that it takes 2 to 4 minutes to strangle someone to death manually with their own hands. The horror that she felt as the man that she loved wrapped his hands around her throat and choked the life out of her must have been unimaginable. Even worse, what must Bella, age 4, and Celeste, age 3, must have experienced or thought as their father, the one man on this planet who was supposed to nurture and protect them, was snuffing out their lives. They both died from smothering. Let me say that again. The man seated to my right smothered his daughters. Why? Imagine the horror in Bella's mind as her father took her last breaths away. Your Honor, understand very clearly, Bella fought back for her life. The frenulum, the connective tissue between her upper lip and her gum, had a centimeter and a half laceration. She bit her tongue multiple times before she died. She fought back for her life as her father smothered her. Celeste had no such injuries. In fact, she had no external injuries at all. But according to the medical examiner, she was smothered nonetheless. The defendant then methodically and calmly loaded their bodies into his work truck, not in a hasty or disorganized way. He was seen from the neighbor's doorbell camera backing his truck into the driveway, going back and forth into the house and back out to the truck 3 different times, 1 time for each of their bodies. He then drove them away from their family home 1 final time, intent on hiding any evidence of the crimes that he had just committed. In 1 final sign of callousness for his wife, his daughters, and their unborn son, and their remains, he drove them to a location that he thought no one would ever find them, to one of the oil tank batteries with which he was so familiar. He knew this was safe. He had texted a coworker the night before saying, "I'll head out to that site. I'll take care of it." He had carefully ensured that he would be alone in the middle of the plains to secrete away the remains of his family in a place that he hoped they would never be found. In 1 final measure of disrespect for the family he once had, he ensured that they would not be together, even in death, or so he thought. He disposed of them in different locations. He buried Shanann and Nico in a shallow grave away from the oil tanks. Bella and Celeste were thrown away in the oil tanks at this facility. Different tanks, so these little girls wouldn't be together in death. Imagine this, Your Honor. This defendant took those little girls and put them through a hatch at the top of an oil tank, 8 inches in diameter. Bella had scratches on her left buttocks from being shoved through this hole. A tuft of blonde hair was found on the edge of one of these hatches. The defendant told investigators that Bella's tank seemed emptier than CC's because of the sound that the splashes made. These were his daughters. Significantly, when his coworkers arrived at the tank battery later that morning, to a person, they all described him as acting completely normally. It was a normal workday, even while his daughters sank in the oil and water not far away from him. And then his efforts at deception truly began. We've all seen the emotionless interviews that the defendant gives to the local media, asking for help in locating his family. We watched as he claimed that the house was empty without them, and that he hoped that they were somewhere safe, and that he just wanted them to come home. He told investigators that they were at home sleeping when he left for work that morning, and that Shanann had told him that she was taking the girls to a friend's house for the day. What is striking about this case, Your Honor, beyond the horrors that I've already described to you, is the number of collateral victims that he created by his actions. While he stood in front of TV cameras asking for the safe return of his family, scores of law enforcement officers, neighbors, friends, and family scoured the area, fretted for their safe return. They texted him begging for any information and sending him their best wishes, all the while he hid what he had done. The list of indirect victims does not end there. Think of the firefighters and the Colorado State Patrol hazmat experts who had to don protective suits and who were called upon to pull Bella and Celeste out of those oil tanks. Or the coroner employees who had to conduct these autopsies. Or the victim assistants who frantically attempted to ease the suffering of those affected. All of this, Your Honor, for what? Why? Why did this have to happen? His motive was simple, Your Honor. He had a desire for a fresh start, to begin a relationship with a new love that overpowered all decency and feelings for his wife, his daughters, and unborn son. While Shanann texted the defendant over and over again in the days and weeks leading up to her death, attempting to save her marriage, the defendant secreted pictures of his girlfriend into his phone and texted her at all hours of the night. While Shanann sent the defendant self-help and relationship counseling books, one of which, ironically enough, was thrown in the garbage. He was searching the internet for secluded vacation spots to take his new love in researching jewelry. And while Shanann took the girls to visit family in North Carolina, the defendant went to car museums and the sand dunes with his new girlfriend. The stark contrast between the subjects of their internet and text content is absolutely stunning. Even the morning after he killed them and disposed of their bodies, he made several phone calls. One was to the school where the girls were supposed to start, telling the school that the girls would not be coming to school anymore, that they were being unenrolled, presumably to give him some more time before law enforcement notification about them going missing. He contacted a realtor to start discussing the selling of his house, and he texted with his girlfriend about their future. None of this answers the questions of why, however. If he was this happy and wanted a new start, get a divorce. You don't annihilate your family and throw them away like garbage. Why did Nico, Celeste, Bella, and Shanann have to lose their lives in order for him to get what he wanted? Your Honor, justice demands the maximum sentence under the agreement reached by the parties. As you will recall, the agreement calls for life sentences as to Shanann, Bella, and Celeste, and all of those to run consecutively to one another. It also calls for the count of unlawful termination of a pregnancy as to Nico to run consecutively to counts 1, 2, and 3. I would suggest that the extreme aggravation present in the defendant's conduct and in the efforts that I have described mandate that the sentences for counts 7, 8, and 9, the tampering with a deceased human body, each be the maximum of 12 years, and that those sentences run consecutively to one another. It is very clear that each of these acts, that these were not the subject of one act, but each oil tank that he walked up with his daughter's bodies and the hole that he dug for his wife and unborn son mandate a mandatory consecutive sentence. It's been alluded to this morning, but the defendant was certainly eligible for the death penalty in this case under the existing law in the state of Colorado. As you heard, Shanann's family strongly opposed my office seeking the death penalty and being bound to the criminal justice system for the next several decades. That's in large part, as you've heard, why we have reached the agreement that we have. 4 lives were lost at the hands of the defendant on August 13th for reasons that we will never fully understand, nor will we know. In the end, the Rusick family was much more merciful towards him than he was towards his wife, his daughters, and his unborn son. Prison for the remainder of his life is exactly where he belongs for murdering his entire family. Thank you.
I've never been to the Lazy Dog.
I don't know, probably about an hour and a half, and then we went back to my house for a little bit, hung out at my house for a little while, and then he had to leave, and then he left.
Do you recall what time he left?
Off the top of my head, no. I remember he was like gonna be late to be back at 10. I think there's a text message where he starts texting me when he's home at his house.
Okay.
So you can probably figure that out. And I remember I texted him back and I was like, damn, that was quick. Or wow, that was really quick. He's like, yeah, I even had time to stop at the ATM or stop at the gas station, stop somewhere to get money to pay the babysitter.
Okay.
And I was just like thinking like, well, that was really fast. But I think he was still like a little late coming back, but nothing too drastic. So he probably left my house like somewhere around 9:30ish.
All right. And you know, he goes straight home. He texts you.
Well, I was already home.
Right. No, he texts you. He goes straight home from your house, and he texts you that he's home.
Mhm.
So that should be in your text message.
It should be. I'm pretty positive that was not a phone call. I'm almost positive that was a text. Sometimes I get them flip-flop, or I don't remember, but
That's
sometimes I know. I'm pretty sure that one was a text.
Saturday, during your dinner, what kind of conversation did you guys have?
I don't even remember. So he's been trying to like eat a little healthier than he normally does, and he's always like been in the working out since I knew him, and he like tries to eat clean, but he was trying to like step it up a little bit, and nothing like the people who do like the competitions and the shows that are all super restrictive. I mean, it's nothing like that. It's just like day-to-day general maintenance, but it's how I eat, and it's pretty healthy. And he's been losing a lot of weight. He lost, I want to say like 13 pounds in the time that we were hanging out. And honestly, when you start eating a little bit cleaner and you start working out a little bit harder, the first couple months, especially for a man, because they lose weight faster, it's not something that's like that drastic to me, but it did stand out that it was like a little much. And so I was like, whoa, like maybe you're not eating enough macronutrients. So let me look at them. So he had been working on his MyFitnessPal app and like programming like all the stuff he eats. And I just started going through them, and I was like trying to figure out like where his ratios were. And we actually spent a lot of time doing that because he'd asked me to do it for him. Because I just was at the point where I was like, if his weight loss slows down in a few weeks, he'll be fine. And if it doesn't, then his macros are a little off. It's not like that big of a deal like in the workout community. This is like a very normal thing. But
Did you have any other outside concerns, like potential drug use, alcohol use, any of that stuff that led you to go, oh, he's lost an extreme amount of weight in such a short period of time?
No, and I wouldn't call it extreme. It was just like, it was a lot. But I mean, when I first started working out, I dropped like 12 pounds in 2 weeks when I first started like hitting it hard with the diet. So the fact that he lost like that much weight, it wasn't, like I said, it was not a surprising amount. I just didn't want it to be like a sustained amount. But no, I didn't think anything weird of it just because of like how interknitted I am with the like workout community, and I know like this is possible. But it just, the thing that concerned me about it, I guess, and it wasn't even concern, but the thing that like kind of red lighted me like, hey, this might be carrying on, is the fact that his macros were like pretty dialed in. Like I had wrote them and he like didn't stay exactly on them, but his calorie intake was about where it needed to be, my experience anyways, for like what he was trying to achieve. And so I don't know, he didn't seem to have a problem with it. He liked where he was at with all of that.
So that was your main conversation Saturday?
That was like a big chunk while we were there, is like us actually going through, because I was like going through each item like, why are your ratios off?
Do you know where his kids or wife were that night?
On Saturday?
Yeah, his kid. Well, you know his kids are with the babysitter. Do you know where his wife is?
She's in Arizona.
Okay. How do you know that?
Because he told me.
Okay. Do you know what she's doing there?
I think she's on a business trip. He didn't even tell me right away. He actually told me, I think, like on Saturday or something. It might have been like Friday or something. I honestly don't remember. I just remember I was like really surprised where he's like, hey, like, I'm going to try to get a babysitter if you want to hang out or something like that. And I was like, why do you need a babysitter? Like, your wife's home. He's like, no, she's out of town. I was like, oh.
Okay. Is there much conversation regarding that, her on being on a trip, or the children on during those conversations?
Not really. I just asked him what time she was coming home on Sunday, and he just said really late.
Okay.
And that was it. I mean, there's nothing really to talk about with that.
Okay. So your conversation's mainly health related.
Mm-hmm.
You guys return to your house, and then he goes home, and then you talk to him for a few hours on Sunday.
Did I? Are you asking me, or are you telling me?
I'm asking you.
Oh, I was like, I don't even know. Someday, honestly. So wait a minute. That was Saturday. We're talking about Saturday. We're not talking about Sunday right now.
Okay, so you're still on Saturday.
Yes.
You guys have a phone conversation when he gets home?
That was the day that he got the babysitter and I went out to dinner, not Sunday.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. I just want to make sure
That's
you
okay.
got your
Yep.
days right. So Saturday, yes, we went out. He had the babysitter. He went home. I'm sure we did. We always talk on the phone. And honestly, I mean, Mark asked me that the other day. He's like, how long are you on the phone? 15 minutes, 20 minutes? Like, you're going to have to look at the records, to be honest with you. Like, so much.
You like to talk. I can tell a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
400 when she was young. She'd crank out about 400 words a minute. Gusts up to 600. That little thing can yak, man.
You're a talker, so I'm letting you talk.
I need to use the restroom.
Let me show you where it's at.
Can you
So
give me some water while you're out there with
Sure.
me, please? Thank you.
Another bottle?
let's
Yeah, at least one.
let's move to
Sunday.
Sunday. Well, let me reverse something. Your conversation with the children, or about the children, was there ever talk about medical concerns with either of the children?
Well, I know Cece is allergic to not peanuts, like pine nuts. Pine nuts.
So she has a nut allergy.
Yes.
Did they take meds?
I know that she had like an EpiPen, but as far as I know, she didn't have any meds, but I never asked. Like, I was just told, like, she has a pretty severe allergy. And
Enough to carry an EpiPen, that's pretty severe.
yeah, while we're on this, so when he was in North Carolina, this is all like hearsay now because it's like, this is not a conversation. Like, he's telling me this stuff, but who knows exactly what happened. But he went out there to go see his family and her family. And while he was in town, before he went out to North Carolina, I guess his mother had accidentally, like, not exposed her to something with nuts, but had, like, given a product, I think it was like ice cream, to a different kid that could have traces of nuts or something. I don't know. But it was like, his daughter was fine, but she was like in the range of contamination. And I think his wife was very upset about that. And when he got to North Carolina, he told me that he was supposed to spend like half time with them, half the time with her family, and that was supposed to be what it was. I don't know. But he said that he went to go see his family, and they weren't answering the phone for like a day or two before he went out there. And then when he got there, there was a note on the door that said, son, if you step by, we're at the beach. And they ignored him for like most of the time that he was out there. And
His own family?
yes, his mom, his dad, and his sister.
What's the significance? Do you know why?
Yeah, he said, and again, I don't know what is true with this man anymore and what's not, but he told me that, like, leading up to it, I was like, well, why are your folks, like, ignoring you? And I was, like, really concerned about this. Like, every single day he would talk to me when he was out there, and I was like, you talked to your family today? You talked to your family today? Did you talk to your dad? What happened? Did you talk to him? No, I didn't. Or, yeah, I talked to my mom. Well, what'd she say? Are you going to hang out with him? Like, I wanted him to see his people because it's important. Family is an important thing. You know, it just needs to function properly. And,
Sure.
And so I was like, well, and he was like, well, they're ignoring me. And I was like, what do you think happened? And he was like, I'm not really sure, but I think something was said between my wife and them during that incident. And he's like, because
The
every time
peanut
yes,
or
that happened
nuts.
before he got there, yes. And he's like, because every time that I try to I talk about possibly going over there to see if they're home, she gets upset about it. And I was like, okay. And he told me that his mom and his wife did not get along at all. He said that his mom didn't even show up to his wedding because she's like really did not care for Shanann. Okay. So again, I don't know what's true and what's not, but I just know that there was like some tension there.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like that part is like, I feel like it's almost third party. So that's why it's
Sure.
like I didn't even
Well, but
bring
it came
up
from
later.
him to you, so it's not. It is something that is, whether it's important or not, we can validate that. I'm sure we will be having some conversations with family. What does it mean? I don't know. But
Yeah, I don't know either, but I just know
so
like,
maybe I don't know.
well, and then he ended up seeing them on the last like full day that he was there, and they told him supposedly that she had gotten really upset and had screamed and yelled in front of Chris's sister's kids that are very young, and to his mom and to his dad, and said, like, you're never going to see Chris again, you're never going to see me, you're never going to see the babies, and just, like, threatened them, and then, like, walked off. And I guess that was the incident that happened prior to him coming out there, and then she didn't tell him about it.
Mhm.
She just, like, let it go, and then he just spent all week trying to figure out why his family was, like, not trying to be involved.
Gotcha.
So again, I'm not sure. That was like it just feels really third party, so it's hard for me to like talk about because like, I don't know how
That's okay.
much validation.
So
there is and all that.
beyond the nut allergy for CC, did you know of any other? Did she take meds that you know of other than carrying an EpiPen?
His kids or his wife?
No, his children.
No.
And now, well, if you know anything about his wife's medical conditions, if she had any.
No, I've like read in the newspaper they keep saying, oh, she had medical conditions, and I'm like, is that a misprint? Are they talking about CC, or is that just something else I don't know?
So you don't know anything about Shanae having any kind of medical problems?
No.
Okay. Covered Saturday. So there's a phone call Saturday night, actually, from, it can't be Saturday, it had to be Sunday. I wrote that down quickly. Sunday night. Is there anything else you think, let me just back up, from the Saturday where you guys had a meal at the Lazy Dog to prior for the 6 weeks that you guys were serious? And although your dad's here and I think you're probably pretty comfortable, your relationship with Chris was, can you describe your relationship?
I mean, when he was with me, I considered it to be fairly healthy. It was open communication, and it was what I thought was honest, and it was very calm. It was respectful. We got along really well. He gave me my space when I needed it. I gave him his, and anytime like he wanted to take care of it, like anytime that his kids could be in like his life for hours or days or whatever, whenever they were home, I made sure that I wasn't a presence in his life so that he could be the best dad that he needed to be. And I mean, I thought what we had, it was very comfortable for me. I enjoyed it. I think he did very much as well.
You guys, 6 to 8 weeks, 2 months, whatever it was, you guys have an intimate relationship during that time?
Yes.
Okay. So you're pretty serious. Did he ever tell you that he loved you?
Yes, he did.
Did you ever tell him the same?
A couple times.
Notwithstanding that today, because those thoughts may have changed for you, but on, let's go Sunday into Monday or Monday, did you still love him on those days?
I think it was something where it was like I said it a few times and I meant it, but he definitely felt the urge to say it to me a lot more than I did to him because it was just all very new to me, and it was like, take your time with this. Like, you don't need to like rush that, you know? Like, I remember when he was in North Carolina and he was like trying to patch things up with his wife, and he told me he loved me, and I was like, don't say that to me. Like, please go try to fit. And I mean, and that might even be in the text too, where it's like, don't say those words to me and then go try to make peace with your wife and lay in bed with another woman. Like, just don't do that. And I was like, it's not that I don't appreciate what you're saying to me. It's like, it just didn't sit right for me, you know? So I just feel like...
Almost like an insecurity where he had to say that to you? Or?
I don't know. I think he like... Looking back at all this now, I don't think he was trying to fix things with her. So saying, I love you, to me seemed like probably something that he genuinely meant. Like, I love this woman. And regardless of where he was going to end up that night. But to me, in the way that I was perceiving things, he had told me that he was trying to fix things with her. So it's just like, this is an inappropriate time. And I wasn't mad at him. And I'm pretty sure that's in the text too, where it was very like calm, but it's just like, it's almost disrespectful, where it's like, please don't. I'm like, you know, if we get to that point where it is you and me, like, yes, you can say that, but not then. Like, that's...
So you thought he was very genuine when he said that?
Yeah, I did. I mean, and he wrote it. It's in all those cards I gave you. Not in all of them, but okay. Like the later ones.
And
thank you.
When you said it to him, you said you meant it when you said it.
Yes, I just didn't say it as frequently as he said it. Like, sometimes he would say it, and I was just like, for me, it was still, like, very, very new, so I kind of, like, took my time and only said it when I was just like, this is really important. moment.
So you got, I mean, in the short period of time that you guys were together, he
Yes.
became very attached to you.
Yes. Very,
I
very
mean, he's
attached.
sending cards.
Flowers.
He's telling you he loves you. He sends you flowers. Does he buy you any other gifts?
Nope. I wouldn't have wanted them anyways. Flowers is enough. You can't. I don't need expensive stuff.
Okay. But he becomes very attached to you.
Yes.
You guys are talking multiple times a day, at least. You're
All the time.
You're seeing each other on a regular basis.
Yep.
So it's a very and his wife is not around, nor are his children. So there's a lot of time for you guys to build your relationship in this first four weeks or so. Is that fair?
Yeah, and even when she was back, I mean, it was still like we were still spending time together. He was still spending time with his children, and I had my own life. Like, I mean, there was one week where I just like went out of town with my friends for my birthday. I wasn't even around the whole like last few days of June up until the 3rd of July. I was like gone, you know. And then there was another like last weekend I had a friend impromptu come in town from out of state, and I hosted her for a few days. And it's like I still did my own thing all the time. Like, whether he was there or not, like, if my friends were like, hey, we want to make plans, I would tell them, like, we're not hanging out today because I want to go see my mom or my dad.
Did your friends know about him?
Nope.
Why?
Because it's like he's with 2 women right now. They don't need to know about
So
that.
if you had a boyfriend of 4 to 8 weeks on a regular, I don't know if you were married prior or if you had a boyfriend before, but if you had a steady boyfriend, you would have let people know. I think you told me before we got started that you just told your dad about Chris
No, I wouldn't
recently.
have told them. I wouldn't have told
Okay.
people. It's too early. I mean, people...
So you don't tell your friends, hey, I got
No,
a
because
boyfriend.
people come and go. I mean,
Okay.
dating scene these days is like, it sucks. I mean, so, no, I wouldn't. I mean, it would have to be something, even with Sean. I think I was with Sean for probably like 6 or 7 months before I brought him home to my family. I mean, I really, same with, that was the guy I was in a previous relationship with, but I
But
mean,
this one you were a little bit more, you said he's with 2 women. Was that one of your considerations for not telling anybody about him?
Yes, well, I mean, it was like, okay, like this, to me, it wasn't going to be an extended thing. Like, if it got to the point where we were, like, dating for, like, 3 or 4 months and he's still talking about, oh, I'm going to move out and I'm going to sell the house, I think at that point I probably would have just been like, I don't think you're really, like, doing these things you say you're going to do. And I probably would have just, like, left because at that point, it's not fair. It wasn't fair to me in the first place. It wasn't fair to her in the first place. It wasn't fair to any of us in the first place. You know, it wasn't fair to his family for him to have an affair. It wasn't fair to me to have him lie to me and make me think that everything is going to plan. And still to this day, I don't even know what's a lie and what's not. I don't even know if they were, like, filing for divorce. I don't know if they were putting the house up. I don't even know anymore what is real and what is not. But what I do know is it's just like, you know, that wasn't fair to me either, because if I'd have known not even all the truth, but like obviously some of it, I wouldn't have even engaged in any of this in the first place. And it just, I mean, and that's the part for me, just like on my personal level, outside of everything that is happening, that is gonna affect me long term. It's like, you know, I'm gonna wake up every day and know that, like, this mom and her unborn child and these 2 little girls are not around anymore, and it breaks my heart. It is so, oh my God. And then I have to think about, like, the consequences of his actions and how they affect everybody else. Like, all of these, her family's impacted. My name is about to be, like, slandered for probably a while. I don't know how long it's going to take to heal, but I would not be surprised if it's going to be hard to go out in public sometimes for a couple of years. And that really hurts me. I'm just like, this is a horrible, horrible thing. Like, how dare you, you know? And people aren't going to understand that. You know, they're going to say, oh, you know, you're the woman that had an affair with this man who took out his whole family. And I take a step back and it's just like, I didn't know. Like, he's so disgusting. I'm so ashamed of him and everything. And I just, oh, those little girls.
talked a little bit earlier about getting some help for these things, and we can provide that
Okay.
at really no cost through the state.
One more we just want to make sure there's resolution.
Absolutely.
That's why we come to you guys to pound it down
hey,
until there's
I'm
nothing left.
sorry that you're talking again today. I really am. I don't want to put you through any more trauma than you've already been through. There is reasons for everything that we're doing today and what occurred. And I'm sorry. I genuinely am sorry. These are not things that we like to do twice. It's the same thing with other types of victims from other crimes. We want to do it once and we want to be done. Unfortunately, we didn't know yesterday what we know today, and that's why we're here, because we need this video. And I am sorry, because I know it's hard to talk about it.
But it's so sad, and she's pregnant.
And you know what? On our end, we didn't.
And they're so cute. They're so little. Like, why? Why? How? I don't even understand how you could like bring yourself to do that to somebody who's like that big. Oh, Jesus.
Take a minute. Do you want to step out for a minute?
No, I just need to chill with my eyes closed for a sec. I still cannot believe this is happening. Alright, let's keep going, because we're just getting to the meat of this whole situation.
Let's get to the phone call on Saturday from 9 to 11. What did you guys, or pardon me, on Sunday from 9 to 11?
Yeah, we talked a few times. So, Sunday,
Okay.
I think so. I need to think. I can't even think.
Take a couple breaths and take a second.
Sunday night. I don't even know. I don't think I was like concerned about anything at that point.
You guys had had a nice meal the night before. You knew his wife was probably coming home late that evening.
Oh, you know what? I still don't remember what we talked about. I honestly, we talk about so much random stuff. It's so hard to pinpoint some of these things. I don't remember what we talked about. I do remember that was a long phone conversation that we probably talked about all sorts of stuff. One thing I do remember though, that I didn't remember earlier when I was talking to Mark. So this is where I'm starting to remember little bits and pieces. I don't remember. Yeah, I know. So the phone conversation. I don't remember what was in the phone conversation. Probably nothing of relevance, to be honest with you. But usually he talks to me when he's down in the basement in his bed before he goes to bed and before I go to bed. And I could hear the TV on, which I thought was kind of weird. I didn't ask him. I just heard it in the background. And I remember thinking, and it was right before we got off the phone, I was like, why the hell is he up? And there's no TV downstairs. So I was well, maybe, I don't know.
So no TV in the basement where he usually calls you from?
Yeah, and I don't know how many TVs they have. I've never been in their bedroom. I went upstairs once and it was to their little playroom and I just looked at it and I was like, that's super cute that your girls have books. And that was it. And other than that, I have never been in any of those rooms in that upstairs. To me, it was just you don't know. Ever. I had no, so I don't know if he has any other TVs. I'm assuming by how much other nice stuff they have in their house, it wouldn't surprise me. So I'm not quite sure what room he was in at that point. But I just remember hearing the TV and I was it was just weird to me because I was why are you watching TV right now? It is super late. And that was the only thing.
And he had phoned you? Or were you guys already talking when the TV was going? Or
I just remember I picked up on it later, but I don't think it was throughout the whole conversation. Okay. I just remember it being towards the end because I remember thinking wow, it's really late.
Something I didn't ask you about the house because you'd been there twice, and it just made me remember. Do you remember how you guys accessed the house?
That's a good question. So once through the garage, and I think once through the front door. I think the first time was through the front door, I think. And I think the second time was through the garage.
Was there anything unique about either of the doors when you went into the house that might not be typical of another house?
Like the unique door?
Not the door itself.
Camera on their door.
Okay,
I mean,
there's a
that.
camera on the which door?
It's on the front door, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm asking
I
you.
think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Did he use a key to access the house?
No. He did not. The first time I went over there, he just let me in. And then the second time, did we go through the garage? I don't remember. I've been through his garage before. I went through his front door once, though, because I remember he had just cleaned, it was the first time I went through his front door, because he had just cleaned his carpets, and he had moved all the furniture out of the way, and the furniture was kind of in the way of the door. And he's like, the door doesn't open all the way right now. I'll move all the furniture back when the carpet dries. So I do remember that, just kind of offhandedly. And the second time, I want to say we went through his garage, because I remember his garage. I remember, yeah.
So he was at the house when you went there. You were never there by yourself.
He
right?
was at,
or he
no.
took you there.
The first time he was already there,
Okay.
and I met up with him. And the second time we went there together.
So the front door, I asked if he had used a key.
He let me in.
Okay. So there's a, those keypads where you can enter an access code. Do you remember seeing that on his door?
Like, I want to say vaguely, but to be honest with you, I don't remember. Like, he let me in that day. That
So
was
he never
so
gave
long
you
ago.
he never gave you the code to access his home?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
You talked about a security system. There was a camera on the front door. Was that just like what a Ring doorbell is that goes to your phone?
I don't even know what it looked like. I only
Okay.
know that it existed either because A, I wasn't paying attention the first time I was over there, but B, because of all the stuff that's going on right now. That's the only reason I know
Okay.
it's in
Did you remember
existence.
seeing any cameras anywhere in the house?
No.
Okay. Did he ever tell you about the alarm system or give you an access code to the alarm system?
No. I wouldn't have asked for that. I wouldn't have wanted that anyways.
Sorry to regress to that.
No, you're
Go
okay.
back to the phone call, or where you noticed the television in the background of the phone call.
Yeah. So I didn't know what room he was in, but I was just like, I just thought it was weird. Because he's always like, before I go to bed and I lay down, he's always like kind of trying to do the same thing. We just talk. It's like a really chill thing till one of us is about to pass out, and then that's like the end of it. But it was strange because I was like, the TV's on. I remember I was thinking, I was like, maybe he's waiting up for her. And then I was like, maybe not. I didn't know. It wasn't something that like alerted me. It was just different from his
Out of
standard
character for him.
operating procedure. Because whether his wife is home or she's gone, he's always got kind of like the standard op when he calls me. So that's why it was kind of like unique.
Okay.
Because it doesn't really fluctuate when she's there and when she's not there. He's pretty like free reign with what he does.
So anything important that you recall during that conversation about the children, about his wife, about what he was doing the next day, what he had planned, anything like that? Did he tell you any of that information?
I remember he told me he had to go to the field and not to the office on Monday morning.
Okay. Did he specifically say where he needed to go on Monday morning?
No, I don't ask him for those sites. There's like, Anadarko's got like thousands of sites. If he were to tell me, I wouldn't even
They're
know.
just like random numbers and stuff, right?
Well, he told me, he said, I gotta go to a site. I gotta go check out like a valve or something where they think that they had a release. Something like that.
Did he mention the town or anywhere?
No. He just told me that that's what he had to go do. He's
Okay.
like, he was like, I won't see you in the office in the morning. Because I see him, but I don't actually like talk to him. Like I will go in the cafeteria, I will put my lunch in the fridge, and him and his whole team are sitting in there, and I don't talk to any of them. I just walk out. But anyways, yeah, he's like, so I won't see you, I'm going to the field, which is not an uncommon thing for the ops guys to like just go straight to the field. Like it happens. Like typically they go to the office, I would say like 3 or 4 days a week, but there are days where him and his other team members are not there. Or like I'll get in there and some days the cafeteria is packed and they're all there. And other days I get in there and there's only like 3 or 4 of them.
So it didn't cause you any concern that he's
No.
like, I'm going to the field on Monday, I won't see you. That wasn't.
No.
That's
it
happened
didn't-
before.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it wasn't something, I mean, and it's not just him, it's like that whole team. Like, you can just tell when they've got like a lot going on, because I'll walk in and there'll be like 2 of them, as opposed to like 6 or 7.
Do you know what he did Sunday during the day?
I don't even know what I did on Sunday during the day. I am so tired. Let me just think about this. Daniel came over Friday. I hung out with him Saturday. And then Sunday,
When did Jim come in?
Monday.
Huh.
Jim got here Monday. What did I do on Sunday? I am like drawing a blank. I'm really tired. I don't know. Can I get back to you on that?
Did you guys have any conversations on Saturday night during your meal, what he might be doing on Sunday?
I'm sure we did. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank because I haven't slept.
If I say that he may have done something with his children, would that refresh
Oh, yes.
your memory?
He went to a birthday party.
Okay. Did you know whose house he was going to?
Nope. But I know that they had a water balloon fight.
Okay. He had one, or his children?
His children did.
Okay.
He said he used to get really into it. He said he got like really interactive with his kids. He's like, some of the adults don't really spend a lot of time playing with the kids, but
We
I
went
always
to
do.
the museum on what day? Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Okay.
That's right. So
Okay.
that's why I was like, was I hanging out with you? God.
Very
So
memorable event, huh?
We,
was,
me and him and my stepmother and my
wife
sister
yeah.
went to the museum, and
What
that's
museum?
right, the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. And they went to brunch prior to that, and I skipped brunch, and I went to the gym.
You shouldn't have. It was good.
I had to do core day. That was the last time I worked out, actually.
That's
so
what we did Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, so core day, and then we went to the museum, and then
When did he tell you about the water balloon fight on Sunday evening during your conversation on the phone?
I think so.
Okay. So
think
you don't know whose house he went to on Sunday, but you knew it was for a child's birthday?
Yeah, and he had told me about that in advance, really. So I don't know if it was Saturday that he had told me that he was going to go that birthday, or like Friday. I just remember he was like, "I got to go to this birthday party
Okay.
with my kids."
Any other conversation that makes sense?
I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm really tired, so I know there are certain things that I need to tell you guys that we'll get to as these days progress.
Yep.
But in all honesty, if it doesn't stand out to me now,
Today?
it probably
That's fine.
wasn't relevant.
What about that 9 o'clock thing you were telling me on Monday?
Oh, that he told me? Oh yeah, well we'll get there. We'll get there. We're still on Sunday.
So we're on
night.
Sunday.
We're
gonna get to,
literally- I know, this is gonna be a long
we're gonna
night.
get there to Monday. We're getting there. So Sunday night or Sunday during the day, you had your own personal stuff going on with your family. You never see him on Sunday. Is that accurate?
No, I didn't see him. What did I do the rest of the day? I came home. I think I might have just chilled at my house. I don't remember. I think I cleaned my house. I don't know. I didn't see him though.
Okay. And
Yeah, Saturday was the last time I saw him.
Okay. Sunday, you're at home. You talk to him. We know you have a conversation in the late evening hours, and then you go to sleep on Sunday night. When's the next time you talk with Chris?
Probably Monday morning.
Do you know what time?
No, I mean, so we used to like randomly text each other like throughout the day, but we both get really busy. So some days like I don't hear a lot from him, and some days I don't text him until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon because I'm just like busy. And I remember I didn't hear a lot from him that day, which was like, that's not out of the normal for either one of us during the day. But at one point I do remember he like texted me and he's like, oh, it's been a really busy day, and then like said some other stuff, which I'm sure you will find in my text. What he said, I don't know. It wasn't obviously anything that was like alerting to me. That's what I'm saying. Like at this point, like I remember really key things, but if it's like a conversation that I'm like, I don't remember exactly what was discussed, it's because it was probably just bullshit, like just talking to each other. Yeah.
Small talk stuff.
Yeah. But I remember he was busy that day, and we didn't talk that much. And then I clocked out at 3 is what my time card says. That's what I was showing Mark the other day. And I got home, to go meet my buddy. One of my good friends was coming over to my house, and he actually has a key to my house, so he was actually there when I got there. And
Who's that?
My friend Jim. And so Jim came over, and I got home. He was there. He had like just walked in the door, and I remember like briefly after he got there, I checked my texts. I mean, briefly after I met up with Jim, I like glanced at my texts, and Chris said something about like my family's not home, or like my wife and kids aren't home, like something to that effect. And I told Mark, because he asked me for a time, and I don't have an exact time, but I remember it was like right after I walked in.
That was a text message, though.
Yeah, it's in a text, and it's like, it was like briefly after I walked in the door, so based off how long it takes me to get home from work and when I clocked out, it was probably about 3:45 p.m. Texts me and tells me that. And like, he knows when I get off of work too, so he doesn't always bug me if I'm busy, so I don't know what's up with that, but that's when he sends that to me. And
So you're saying that he would have known that you would have had your phone available to you and not been at work when he sent you that text message?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
So looking back at it, you think it was purposefully sent at that time?
I'm sure.
I'm just asking your feeling on that.
Yes, and then he said, "Call me when you can," and I was.
There was
like,
no other communication between you and him that morning, on Monday morning?
Well,
at all?
there was, but it was like random, like.
But nothing about this event?
No.
About, like, my wife's missing, or
No.
anything?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
And you knew he wasn't coming to the office because he had told you that Sunday night?
Yeah, and then he goes, and so like they're only in the office for the morning. Like
Right.
some days it's longer than others, but I would say by a maximum of 7:30 every single morning they're all gone, and they don't come back unless they have like a meeting or something that they have to attend. So like not seeing him for the rest of the day is not like an unnormal thing.
Okay.
Like, but like I'm saying, like we don't really. The only reason we interact was kind of like by an off chance thing. Like I don't work with him.
Mm-hmm.
So he, we talked like randomly throughout the day, but it was really sporadic, and he seemed pretty busy, so we didn't talk too much. Like I said, didn't put too much thought into it. It happens all the time. Waited till about 3:45, then sent that text to me, and yes, he does know that I will be home at that point. Or getting home.
Did you give Mark Jim's information?
No, I would really not like to involve him in this.
Okay.
He does not know about this. He doesn't know any of this is occurring.
Okay.
Like I was
So
literally
he knows, certainly through the media, that something's occurred.
Yeah, he's
with
like
Chris.
out of town. He's probably has
Okay.
no idea. He doesn't know
Okay.
who Chris is. Like he's not. I do not know.
So he's just a friend of yours.
Yes.
He
does
that
not
was
need to be
coming
dragged
to your
into this.
apartment and doesn't know anything about Chris. Does he know anything about
No,
Chris? Okay.
nothing. Absolutely
And
not.
we've known Jim for
Yeah.
years and years.
You're not dating him or anything like that?
No,
It's just a
he's
friend.
like one of my very good friends. Like my dad knows him. He's a great guy. He works out of state a lot, so when he's in town, we hang out. But when he's in town and he's off of work, to save time, so I give him a key to my house. One, because I trust him and he's one of my best friends, and two, because sometimes he will just meet me there. Because I'll be like, hey, I'm getting off of work, and then if I get stuck in traffic or something, he ends up like sitting outside of my apartment waiting for me to get off of work. So I'm like, here's a key, and like my dog loves him and stuff. So no, he's not.
So he's just a
involved
family
with it.
friend.
Yes, I don't even
The only
want
reason
him
I
dragged
ask,
into this.
and I'm not really concerned about your location. I think we already have your cell phone records. At some point, did Mark ask you to supply? Did they ask for consent to get cell phone records? That'll probably be done by warrant. If we
Isn't
wanted,
that what you just did?
Nope. What I'm talking about is your movement.
Oh.
By GPS or by cell phone tower to show where you were. Obviously, and I don't want to cause you concern, we want to know where you were that day too. You're dating a man who did some egregious stuff, and we want to show that you were never near him that day. Period.
I mean, you guys
So-
can track my
No, yeah, I
stuff.
mean that was something we will have to get a warrant for, anyways. I'm just saying, if we asked for it, would you have any
Yeah,
objections to that?
No, you can have
Great.
it.
So,
I'm a pretty boring person. I
well,
don't
it sounds
go
like
to
you
many
just went to
places.
work that day, and then you came home and you were there at 3:45.
Yeah, like
on
give or
Monday.
take like 5
Yeah,
minutes.
whatever.
But yeah, so 3:45, I meet Jim there. Yeah, I would
And
totally
so
re-
Jim is understand from an investigative point, he could be a person who could say, yeah, I was there at 3:45. He doesn't know Chris. He doesn't know anything. He could say with one phone call, yeah, she came in at 3:45. Done.
Totally.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't have to ask anything more than, hi, Chris, my name's Kevin. Or Jim. And I'm not saying you have to give it to you.
Just leave Jim
But
alone.
if
Jim does
at
not need
some
to be wrapped
point-
up in this.
If at some point I needed Jim's info to, let's say we couldn't find your phone records, would you
You
tell me
can
who
have
Jim
them.
is?
I will give them to you.
Would you tell me who Jim was if I
If
couldn't
you
get him?
had to.
Okay.
I don't really want to
Great.
involve him in this. That's not
Perfect.
fair to him. That's not, no, if I do not have to do that.
That's fine.
Yeah, so anyways, Chris was like, call me.
And this is the 3:45 text.
Yeah, he sent me like a few. I think there was 3 of them, and I don't remember what the other one said, but something about like, yeah, my family's gone, or I don't remember verbatim, but call me when you can, or call me when you have a chance, something to that effect. And so when he told me call me, I was like kind of alerted, where I was like, okay, what's going on, you know? But first when he told me like his family was like not home, that didn't really seem odd to me that his family wasn't home. It was really vague. I'm like, okay, like, are they at the grocery store? Like, elaborate. And so, you know, and then, but he says, call me like it's like an emergency, but then just says that they're not there. And so I'm like really like floored by that. Well, not like floored, but just kind of like, he says, call me, so I'm concerned. And then he's really vague, so I'm like, maybe he just wants to talk to me? I don't know. I think it took me a little while to like really process the severity of the situation, just because this is not something that you expect to see every day, and the way that he talked to me made me believe that this is not what was going on at all.
Okay, so you make a phone call to him and you guys have a conversation.
I did. I stepped outside.
This is 3:45.
Ish. I mean, well, like, I think I actually interacted with Jim for, like, probably a good 15 or 20 minutes. I mean, he's my guest. He's in my house. So I don't think I called him right away. But, like, I mean, I'm trying to balance the fact that I have my friend here, and then Chris is saying that something needs to be addressed. But to me, it didn't sound like an emergency. I mean, it's all the time. Like, people aren't home right now. You know, so it just... It wasn't like, oh my God, I have to take this call.
It didn't register as being critical.
No. I mean, it was the way he said it. And I was like, okay. So I remember hanging out with Jim for a while, and then I stepped outside and I made a call, like, out on my back patio. And I called him. And he didn't answer the phone. And then he texted me back. Or no. Did he answer the phone? I don't remember. I think he missed my call, and then he called me back. Or he just answered. Either way, it was a very short talk to him where he was just like, I have to go. The cops are here. And I don't remember if he said that on the phone or over text.
That's
I don't
okay.
even, I'm so tired.
That's fine. You don't
But
need
either
the
way,
different,
like,
it's
the
just
cops,
the context.
Yeah, I mean, you guys will figure it out. The cops are here. And I'm just like, all right. And then I remember we were we were texting, but I was like hanging out with my company, so it wasn't like a nonstop text. It was just kind of like I would check my phone every once in a while, and we would communicate with each other. And he was just saying like they weren't there, and that her friend Nikki was there, and that her friend Nikki had called the cops. And I'm like, why would this girl call the cops? And like, I honestly do not remember the order of operations on all of this, but I'm pretty sure the majority of our conversation that night until my friend Jim left the house, which was probably pretty late, I don't even know what time, like 9 or 10, was all via text. So you should have this via text. Like,
Okay.
I don't think we started talking again on the phone until like after my company left. And he was like, I don't know, he just started like giving me details about stuff, and I don't remember what order, but he was saying like Nikki was really upset and that the cops were there and that they were like searching the house, and I was just like, what? You know, like what? Why? And he was telling me that they had like had a disagreement or something like that, and then he told me like she was gonna go to a friend's house, and I was like, okay, well, maybe she left, you know, maybe she just like went to her friends. And then I think I don't remember, but I think he was the one that told me that her cell phone and her purse were still there. I think he told me that.
He told you her cell phone and purse were still there?
I think he did. I don't remember.
What's the
heard that.
significance of that in your mind at that time?
At that point, I thought this woman was really trying to get out of this house.
Okay.
That's what I thought. Because he said that they'd had a disagreement, and I was just like, okay, well, I mean, I leave my cell phone at
When
home.
he said disagreement, what did he tell you what it was about, or?
Not at that point. Not at that point. So, again, like, you guys are going to have to check these texts, because it's all, like, my brain feels
That's
like
okay.
a mashed potato right now. But I remember him saying that, and I'm just thinking, like, well, maybe she was in a rush, you know? Like, maybe she was just like, I'm going to my friends. I'm leaving my cell phone here because I don't want you calling me. I don't want anyone else calling me. I mean, there are days where, like, when I'm outside of work, I will just shut my phone off. I just do it, and it's, like, my way of getting peace. So to me, that... I mean, like, it was weird that it wasn't even that weird to me that she left her phone just because I leave my phone, but it was weird to me that she left her purse. But knowing the fact that that girl was, like, always on her phone, then, yeah, I guess it is kind of odd.
Like, she lived on her phone, I think,
yeah.
pretty much, is my understanding of her and a phone. So, I don't know if you knew that.
I did.
Until prior to the media stuff, or just from Chris.
I did.
So, did that strike you as odd? But you're thinking maybe she just left.
I just thought she needed to, like, get away from the situation. I mean, that didn't seem that awkward to me that a couple that is going through a separation would be like, I need to leave. I just need some space. Like, it didn't even, like, process. I was like, okay, like, give her some space, you know? And on that note, too, when he was in, we're going to jump back for just a second.
It's okay.
I had a thought. So when he was coming back from North Carolina, that was when he officially told me we're going to get a divorce and we're going to put the house up for sale. Like, he told me they were separating and they were, like, going to put the house up for sale, but they hadn't done it yet. And then when he got back from North Carolina, that was when he was like, it was like a sealed deal.
Okay.
And the reason that is of significance is because at some point over the weekend, I don't remember when, he told me that they were putting the house up. I don't know if it was they were putting it up on Monday, like the day they went missing, or if it was that they were calling the realtor to verify some stuff so they could put it up that week. Like, I don't quite remember. I just remember, like, the house, which was supposed to be, like, on the market, like, that week.
Did he name a realtor ever?
Yeah, he did, and I don't remember her name. It was a female.
Okay.
And I don't remember her name, like, at all. I was trying to think of that for you guys not too long
Is
ago.
that the company? Do you got the company name?
No, he never gave me that. He, like, gave me her name, and it was the same name twice. He gave it to me once when he was in North Carolina, and then once the other time. Because I remember asking, I was like, who's that? Because he's like, I'm going to have her call so-and-so today and make sure everything's still good to go. And I was like, who's that? He's like, the realtor. It's like, oh. Or not today, but like.
If it ever comes to
Monday.
your mind, just.
Yeah, I
give me a
doubt
voicemail,
it. That
give
was
me a
such
call.
a.
Yeah.
I will try. I don't
Lots of
remember
names.
what it was.
It's fine. It's not that critical. That person may come forward to us anyways, perhaps. So don't worry about it. Let's go back to the phone calls on Monday afternoon.
Yeah, so he's like texting me a lot of this information, and I'm starting to kind of freak out. And it's not like I'm freaked out like, oh, she got murdered. I mean, that is not what I thought. It's like, okay, like the way I looked at this, like apparently his wife had been gone since midday, is when she got like reported missing. I didn't know that. Like the way I looked at this, it was, I got home from work just now. I mean, he didn't say that, but I interpreted, I just got home from work. And my family is not here. So when we're texting for like a few hours, like the cop thing was kind of weird. But he's like, Nikki insisted they call the cops. Nikki insisted they call the cops. And I'm like, okay, and I'm just trying to figure out, well, like, what role does this woman play in this situation? Like, is she...
Did you know who she was?
No, I don't know any of his people. Like, this has been pretty, like, tight wrap for a while, which is probably a really good thing. But anyways, I didn't know, like, who she was. And so, like, I started asking him. I was like, well, where do you think your wife is at? And he's like, I think she'll be back tonight. Like, I think she's, like, out with somebody. And he was telling me that they had a disagreement. So I was like, well, I remember telling him, I was like, you should make sure that you have wait a minute. No. So all that happened, and then it starts getting kind of laid out. And I remember we talked for text for a while, and part of this conversation, and then it moved to the phone. And I remember telling him, because he was like, I think she'll just be back tomorrow. I think she's just going to be gone for the night, like, with a friend, you know? And
Did he name the friend?
No, he didn't. And, like, and because I don't think, he made it sound like he didn't know, like, what friend's house she would be at. And I remember talking to him, and I was like, well, maybe it's that Nikki girl. And he's like, well, Nikki called the cops, so why would she be at Nikki's house? I'm like, I don't know, kind of throws her off the trail of where she's at, you know? And it's like, it sounds kind of weird, but it's like, he really made this sound like this woman was just, like, upset, left the house, and that was probably what he thought happened to her. And so I didn't really put too much, like...
Did he tell you the kids were missing as well?
Yes,
with her?
I knew.
Okay.
I mean, which made sense to me, because I was like, well, if you were at work all day... I mean, he didn't tell me he got home early. He didn't say that to me. So, I mean, it made sense. Like, if she's going to leave, they should probably go with her. And so, I don't know. I feel like I wish I should have, like, processed all of this earlier, but I just don't feel like... When one of my friends is gone, I'm like, oh my God, they got murdered. We should address this. Like, I haven't heard from them in 4 hours.
It's not a typical thought when somebody just checks out for a day.
No. So it got late at night, and, like, I remember telling him, I was like, he's like, I think she'll be back tomorrow. And he was going to go into work, and I told him not to. I was like, you need to stay home, and you need to help the cops. I'm like... And you need to wait for her to come back. And he's like telling me, like, well, what if, like, she comes back and she sees my truck? And I was like, you know what I would do? I was like, I would ask one of your good friends who's off of work tomorrow to come over this house and hang out with you while you're here. I was like, and go park your truck down the street. I was like, so she's upset at you and she wants to come back. I was like, but she doesn't want to be here if you're here, maybe. I was like, if she comes back, I was like, and she doesn't see your truck, maybe she'd be more willing to come in the house. I'm like, you know, but don't be alone with her. I was like, because if she's upset enough to leave, I was like, you don't know what kind of confrontation you're going to have when you get back in the house. And I was like, so that's why you should have a friend there so that you're not alone with her. And I was like, and if for some reason you are alone with her, I told him, I was like, I really thought she just left. I did. I was like, get your phone, put it on video, and put it in your pocket. And I was like, and just zip it up. And he's like, why? And I told him, I was like, because you can voice record. I was like, so if she comes home, I was like, and you two are still, like, you know, if there's some choice words being said, because you guys obviously got into, like, something that's, you know, early
Did he
in the
ever
morning.
articulate what their argument was
He did,
about?
and I will get there. But, you know, I told him, like, just be prepared. You know, because at this point, like, it wasn't like I was, like, trying to make her to be a bad person. It was just like, I didn't know what was going on. I assumed that she had left, so I was like, well, when you get back, because I knew that they were going through a divorce, it was like, just cover your bases, you know, try not to be alone. And if you are, just record what you guys are talking about, so, like, at the end of the day, like, nothing bad happens to you, you know? And, like, that was kind of how I processed that whole situation. And so, he was like, all right. And then, she didn't come home that night. That was Monday night, right? Yes.
We're talking about Monday.
Monday night, yes. And he told me this is what he told me they talked about, and I realized that this is like total bullshit, and I think he's telling you guys a different story. And I think the reason that he's telling me what he's telling, I think the story he's telling you is probably slightly more accurate than the one he told me on this case, and the reason is because I think he was trying to save his ass with the fact that she's pregnant. So he told me that she had asked him to wake her up before he left for work on Monday morning. And so I don't know if she did that on a text or how it was supposedly communicated. But he said that he went to get her up, which I also found weird because, like, she's still sleeping when he leaves because she gets up with the kids and they get up shortly after that, but, like, it's just him in the mornings, you know. And so he said that she woke up and those two kind of just like got in a disagreement, and I don't know what all was said, but he was like, she was being pretty mean, and then he said, she told me that she's pregnant, and she told me that the kid is not mine. That is what he told me.
So she's pregnant, the kid's not mine.
And that she's...
Like he's playing it, he didn't know she was pregnant
Yep.
until that morning.
Yep.
And that she had an affair with somebody else.
Yes, and this is before I knew she was 15 weeks pregnant.
Okay.
Like, all the stuff on Monday that I read from my recollection, because I didn't find out she was pregnant until Tuesday. So anything that got posted on Monday did not emphasize the fact that she, like, had a baby on board. So then...
Let me ask you something. You said that he usually gets up in the morning and it's him, and she gets up and takes care of the kids. Is that the routine that you know for them? Or do you know him to get up and like prepare meals prior to him leaving the home?
Well, he gets up and he like goes to the gym and he works out in his basement and like makes breakfast, and I don't know.
Does he make breakfast for himself or does he make breakfast for his children?
I don't know. I don't know. They're still sleeping at that point. Like, all I know is he, at one point in some time in this whole thing, he told me that they usually get up at like 6:30, and she gets him ready and takes him to school and like does all the morning stuff with them, as far as I know. And then in the afternoons when he gets home from work, he kind of does more of the afternoon stuff.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a tag team operation that they have going on, but I think she does more in the AM and he does more in the PM.
Right.
Is kind of how I process that, but I don't know.
Okay. So she's mean to him and then throws this out.
Yes.
That she's pregnant from another man.
And I said, do you believe her? And he was just like, he said something about like, oh yeah, like she kind of looked like she was showing when we were in North Carolina, but I wasn't sure. And I'm like, so you think she's pregnant? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, do you think she's like having an affair? And he's like, I think she said that out of spite. And he's like, and I was like, okay. And then, and again, like, I think he's just saying all this to me to try to cover his tracks with me. Like, I don't know what he told you guys, but I bet it's probably very different. And I think that what he said to me, it was, like, directed towards me. Like, this whole bullshit little box lie that he had right there was, like, the lie directed
Did he say when the argument started?
Nope. He just said it was in the morning. He said he woke her up in the morning.
Okay. Did he say when she came home? Did he ever let you know that?
I think I want to say he said around like 2, but I don't know.
Okay. And then he woke her for what purpose?
Because she asked him to.
Okay.
So I was under the impression that he was asleep. I'm assuming this is how it like went, and what he was trying to tell me is that he was asleep by the time she got home. And she sent him a text and said, wake me up before you leave. And then he woke her up, and they got in an argument, and then he went to work.
Okay.
That's how I processed
And the
it.
context of that argument, again, was just she's pregnant. And is there anything else that he shared with you?
He did not elaborate on it, and I didn't ask.
What were you thinking at that time?
This was like on Monday. Again, at that point, I was like, I still thought she left. I mean, this was all on Monday. Like, I legitimately thought this woman left the premises with her kids and just wanted nothing to do with him for like 24 hours.
So his story was believable that she was pregnant from another man, and maybe she took off for that guy, or...
He said several times, like, I think she just said that out of spite.
Okay.
Like, he thought she was with one of her friends.
So he held true to that story.
Pretty much.
She's just leaving and she's with a friend.
That was kind of what he thought, and that's kind of what he had me believing. And at the time, I wasn't really alarmed because it'd been like a half a day.
Sure.
And so then Tuesday rolled around, and...
Did you see him at all on Monday? You said you didn't,
No.
right? Earlier.
I did not see him. And I went to work Monday.
Did he ever
Tuesday.
try to convince you to come see him, or say he wanted to come to your house?
No, not at all. We were supposed to go pick out apartments to go look at on Wednesday, so yesterday. But that obviously
Right.
didn't
So
happen.
on Monday, he never tried to be convincing to get you to come up to see him?
No.
Nothing?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think so, because my buddy Jim was over Monday and Tuesday, and he knew Jim was over Monday and Tuesday, and that's why we were going to hang out on Wednesday.
Okay.
So no, he didn't ask me. So Tuesday rolled around, and she still wasn't around, and this is when I started getting kind of sick. Like, my friend Jim was sick on Monday when he came up, and I don't know. I just started feeling like crap as it was. And then I was just kind of having a hard time focusing and like thinking about what was going on. And I'd asked him a few times, I'm like, where's your family, Chris? Like, where's your family? You know, and he would tell me like, oh, I don't know, or I want them home. Like, I asked like several times. So I think I got different responses, but each time like he didn't know where they were. You know, and I'm like, she's still not home? And he's like, no. And and I had also asked him to like, he said he had a friend, Dave, that was a cop, which I also find convenient that there's another Dave working this case who's a cop. But I was like, well, if Dave's off, why don't you just have him like post up outside your house too and see if she shows up, you know? And he told me on Tuesday morning, he was like, I called Dave and asked him to sit outside my house and he's going to do it. And he's like, and then my friend Nick is coming over later on this afternoon. And I was like, okay.
Did you ever hear Nick's name before?
I've actually heard that name a few times, like,
okay.
around him. Like, there's certain... I never heard Dave before. Dave was new, but I've heard the name Nick a lot, so I don't know if that's, like, real or what, but if I was to guess, like, friends that he, like, legitimately has, I would assume that he was one of them. But, yeah, because I know he's told me before, like, when we first started hanging out, that Nick lived kind of in the area, and he's like, he actually goes... He's a trail runner, and he's like, he runs at East Lake number 3.
So he lives in your area?
Kind of.
Okay.
And I remember him saying that to me once. He's like, you know that park that we like hung out at? I was like, yeah. He's like, my buddy runs over there. We should not go to that park anymore. And I was like, okay. That's cool. And anyways, where were we at?
Tuesday morning. We're almost done.
I know. I'm trying to just keep it all together here for you guys. Tuesday morning. Oh, so he said Dave was going to stay outside of his house, and Nick was going to come over that afternoon. I was like, all right. And then I think most of the texting throughout that day was kind of like, have you heard anything? Like, what's going on? It was kind of like me checking up on him. And I don't remember everything, but it wasn't, I didn't even make it through the entire workday. Like, I was feeling really, really sick, like, in general. And then I decided on my lunch break to get on the internet and look at what was going on with all the reports. And I saw a report that was like, this woman who's 15 weeks pregnant and her 2 daughters are missing. And I was like, whoa, what? And I was just like so floored, and I read a couple other articles just to make sure that, you know, all the newspapers are, and like just double check, like, am I really reading this right? And I'm like, okay. And he had told me previously, like, she says she's pregnant with another man's kid, but he'd said like he could kind of tell in North Carolina, but that girl is like obviously pregnant. I mean, in her photos. I mean, 15 weeks, that's like 4 months. That's pretty far along. And so it's like, how would you not know if she's showing? Like, you totally know she's showing. And so, oh my God, I got so sick. I was just like, I need to go. I just like packed my stuff and I left work and I went home, and I remember I told Jim that I was going to get home early, and he wanted to come over right away, and I was just like, I just needed some time to like process what was going on. But I did tell him, I was like, you can come over earlier than you did yesterday, because he didn't want to wait in traffic. That was the thing. He's like, save me some time. So I don't remember what time he got there. I probably still have that text because I don't have any reason to delete those. But he came over a little early, but I did have like a gap of time in there. I don't know how long it was. I bet it was like from the time I got home to the time Jim got there, but it was probably like, I don't know, hour and a half maybe, somewhere around there. I remember talking to Chris during this time, and it was like all text. I did not talk to him on the phone at all on Tuesday. And I was pretty upset, where I was just like, you know, I was going back and forth like, where's your family, this and this and this, but I'm like, she's pregnant, you know, and this and this, and he's like, the baby's not mine, and I'm just like, you told me yesterday that you think that when she said that she cheated on you, she did it out of spite. And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, so then it's your kid. And he kept denying it. And then, like, he started, like, kind of worrying about us. He'd just be like, well, does this ruin everything with us, this and this and this? And I'm like, no. I'm like just trying to, like, his situation is so much more important right now than, like, our situation.
But his main concern is you and him.
Kind of, sort of. I mean, and I keep, like, asking him, like, I'm like, and I told him numerous times, which is also in the text that you guys will pull, where I'm just like, you need to focus on finding your kids and your wife right now. And I was like, and you need to focus on finding all 3 of your kids. And I, like, kept, like, emphasizing to him, like, he had 3 kids, you know? And, like, I wasn't even, like, mad about it. I was just like, you need to find your family. You need
Did he ever go look for them that you know of?
I don't know. I don't think so. That, like, doesn't even, like, ring a bell to me, so I don't think so.
Okay.
But, oh, and I forgot something else that's really important. I'll add it in there, too, but let me just finish this thought. So then, Tuesday, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah. So I kept telling him, I was like, Chris, I know it's yours. It's okay. I was like, go find your family, you know? And it's like, was I hurt? Yes. But at the time I realized, like, his situation with what he had going on was, like, way more important than, like, our situation. And so that's why I was just like I confronted him about it, and then I was like, you need to go find them. And, like, we talked about it for a little while, and then I was just like, I don't remember exactly how it went, but something along the lines where I was like, why can't you just be honest with me? I was like, stop lying to me. Like, stop lying.
Did you have an inclination? You've talked to this man a lot, and during this Tuesday, Wednesday conversation, did you feel like he was bullshitting you?
A little bit, kind of, yeah. I mean, because he was like, not Monday. Monday I did not. But Tuesday, yeah, that's when it all started to click. I was like, oh my goodness, because he was like, well, like, he just didn't seem as, like, concerned as he should be, and he was, like, super worried about shit with us, and I'm just like...
So concerned about his family and overly concerned about your relationship.
Yes.
Okay.
And I kept, like, trying to put it on the back burner. And shame on me for bringing it up in the first place. I was just really taken back. Like, wait a minute. She's 15 weeks. Like, how would you not notice that? Like, I was just, like, I was confused. And I was also like, is he lying to me? And I kind of wanted to know because I realized that, like, there's a situation at hand here. And I'm just like, what is going on? You know, and for part of it, it wasn't even, like, me trying to find out because I'm upset. It was almost like me trying to find out because I'm like, is there something else I'm missing here? Like, I felt like there was, like, pieces to this puzzle that I didn't know existed that were, like, not in place, and it was strange. And so, anyways, I told him, I was like, be honest with me. I was like, don't lie. And I don't remember exactly how it went, but I was, like, trying to emphasize, like, stop bullshitting me. So he told me the truth. And he told me it was his, and then he knew about it.
Okay.
I was like, okay. And then he asked me again, like, did that ruin everything? And I was like, no, it didn't. And in the back of my head, it's like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not dealing with that. Don't lie to me. But his situation is so critical right now that's, like, I'm not going to, like, ruffle his mental feathers because they're already, like, really ruffled because of the situation. So, like, out of respect for his mental health, I just, like, dropped it. And I just kept telling him, like, we're okay, we're okay, we're okay. But
how many times do you think he asked you during these phone calls?
Oh, it wasn't a phone call. This was text.
Pardon me.
Text Tuesday.
Text Tuesday. How many times do you think he brought up your relationship and if you guys were okay?
Probably like 2 or 3 times.
And how many times did he bring up concern for his children or his wife?
I think he brought it up a lot too. I mean, he kept telling me that he was, like, worried about them. Okay. I mean, it happened. It wasn't like he was just, like, spaced out. I mean, he was definitely showing that too. I was just surprised that he was, like, also showing it for me. Because at that moment, if I had some crazy stuff going on with somebody in my family, I would be putting all my relationship stuff on hold. Like, look, like, baby, I got to deal with this. Someone in my family is missing. When I find them, we will talk. And that would just be it. But that's just me. I mean, that's how I would address the situation. And that's kind of how I've been, like, gauging how I handled Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is, like, what would I have done?
Sure.
You know, and kind of, like, that's why, like, I didn't contact you guys on Monday because I probably wouldn't have done that for one of my friends. And not that I'm cold-hearted. It's just, like, it just, that's just not how me and my friends work. So it didn't, you know. So
there's extenuating circumstances that you wouldn't have known that caused her friends to be concerned. Just so you know, there's nothing wrong with you for not going, oh, something's wrong, and calling the police. The people that provided the information to the police initially had way more information about her than you do. So that's why they came forward. So I can see it, I can feel a little reservation that you're like, why didn't I do something? You didn't know enough. I think a normal person on Monday, a reasonable person is just going, shit, this woman's, whacked out relationship with her husband. She's got 2 kids. Now she's pregnant. She just takes off. So don't blame yourself for not making a phone call to the law enforcement or going to the police. You didn't know anything. So I'm just trying to help you get past that. Don't worry about it. Okay. It's not, the people that came to us had way more info than you did regarding what was happening with her life.
Okay.
Okay.
So
don't beat yourself up over that. Please don't. Okay.
And then, so Tuesday, after that conversation, I told him, I told him to delete his text because I knew he was like going crazy texting me, and I didn't want any of his friends to see him texting me because I don't think they knew about me. It had nothing to do with you guys. It was just like, and you'll see him,
The secrecy of your relationship.
Pretty much. And I just feel like he was texting me so much openly, and he had friends there that I was like, I didn't want them to see that. And so I was trying to get him to slow down. And then I told him too, after he lied to me, I was just kind of I was done. And I was trying to find a way to get away from the situation without alarming him or panicking him. So I told him, everything is all good, I'm still here for you, and I feel bad because, I lied to him, but, I, just try to keep him calm, and then I told him, contact me once they find your family. And then we'll talk.
That was Tuesday?
That was Tuesday.
Okay.
And he sent me a text back saying something along the lines of, what did he say? Something please just think of and I kept telling him I was scared. I was really freaking scared. In fact, that's another thing I'm missing. I'm so tired. Monday night, I called him back in the middle of the night because I could not sleep. I could not sleep at all. And I remember when I called him, he sounded like he was sleeping. And I was like, how the hell can you sleep right now? That's exactly what I said to him. And he was just I'm just kind of dozing off and on the couch. And I just remember thinking, I haven't shut my eyes yet. And this is not even my family. And so that happened on Monday night. So then I was going somewhere with that had to do with Tuesday. I forgot what it was. I'm so sorry.
Take a breath and relax. We're almost to Wednesday, and then we're out of here.
Yeah. So then, so then once he lied to me, I just really trying to push him away, and he was just don't forget the person that you knew me to be when you were with me or something like that, and
was that strange?
It just kind of sounded almost like a farewell, and I didn't think it was too weird because I was I think he realizes that I'm really upset that he lied to me, and I think he's aware of the fact that I'm probably about to walk away from him. So I think that was his way of saying goodbye. So it didn't really seem strange in the context of what was going on between the him and I part of stuff. And then, and I kept asking him too, what did you do, Chris? What did you do? And he was I didn't do anything. And I'm where's your family? And I asked him that. I don't know if I started doing that on Tuesday or if I started doing that on Monday, but I think it was Tuesday because I don't really think I was that alarmed on Monday. And then, so that was supposed to be our final sign-off text. And then Jim got there at my house, and I was hanging out with Jim. But I was still, in my head, just kind of, stressed out. And I remember I, walked out of the room, went in my bedroom, and texted Chris one more time. And I told him, I was if you did something bad, I was you're going to ruin your life. And I was and if you did something bad, I was you're going to ruin my life. And I was and I promise you that. And he responded back to me, and he's I didn't hurt my family, Nikki, and that was like the last text. That was the last time we ever talked, and I never said another word to him after that.
That was Tuesday.
That was Tuesday. And then he left me alone. He gave me the space that I asked him. He respected it. And he didn't, like, mess with me at all.
Was that a phone call where you said?
No, that's all Tuesday.
That's
Text Tuesday.
text
Just
Tuesday.
call it
All
text
text.
Tuesday.
Okay.
Everything was text. I did not talk to that man on the phone at all that day. I mean, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was all text. And then...
So at that time in your mind, if you said that, what are you thinking? What were you thinking, that he maybe did something to his family?
Yeah, I started getting really scared.
What caused that thought?
The fact that he lied to me.
Okay.
And that she still wasn't home, and it was day 2. Like, I figure if you're upset for a day, you leave for a day, but you come back. And she wasn't back. And it was, like, midday. And not only that, but, like, she doesn't have her phone. She doesn't have her car. She doesn't have the kids' EpiPen. She doesn't have any of that. So what I'm thinking in my head is, like, for a night, if you're really upset, somebody comes one of your friends picks you up, like, okay. But I can't explain that for 2 days. Like, that just doesn't, like, logically process in my mind as something that any woman I know would do. The one-night thing, I know women that would do that. But the 2-night thing, no. And so I'm like, she's still not back. And he just lied to me. And it made me, like, I just started getting scared. And I remember, like, telling him that throughout the whole day. Like, I don't even know how many times I texted him that. I wouldn't be surprised if it's, like, 8-10 times. Where I'm just like, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. And one of the last texts that I sent to him, too, I told him, I said, I'm scared because I feel like I don't know who you are anymore. And
his response to that?
I don't even remember, to be honest with you. I think that was, like, in that, like, sign-off text that I sent to him.
Okay.
But, I mean, I was, like, kind of scared. What I was really scared for was scared for his family's well-being, because it's like, I don't know where these people are at this point, and it's scary. I mean, it's scary that she's gone, but it's even more scary to me that these little girls are gone. Like, that was the part that really freaked me out. Like, if it was just her, I'd be like, well, maybe she took off with somebody, maybe she didn't. I mean, I don't know, because she's a grown woman and she can make those choices.
Was some of the scared, was there fear in you that people were going to find out about your relationship too?
No, I didn't even care about that at that point. I was just,
okay.
like, scared, like, of the situation. It was, like, getting escalated, and it was freaking me out. And he was just, like, not... He was strange. So, another thing, so that was Tuesday, and that was it for Tuesday, but I forgot some stuff on Monday that I did need to bring up to you guys. So, Monday, when we were on the phone, at one point, he mentioned to me, I can't even believe I have to say this, she left her wedding ring here. And I said something along the lines of, does that mean you two are done? And he was like, he said, how much do you think it's worth? And I was like, remember hearing him say that and being like, what the fuck? And I remember thinking to myself, like, I don't even know how to respond to this. And so I was like, I don't know, pawn it, man. And I was just like, I pawn jewelry all the time. I was like, I pawn jewelry a few times. I was like, it's not worth shit, though. And I was like, so I don't know if you really want to do that. And he's like, no, I think I'm going to get it appraised. It's a nice rock. And I was just like, okay. And it was, like, really awkward.
And that was on Monday?
That was on Monday night. And that, to me, was, like, it was kind of strange. And then the Tuesday lying thing. Like, I'm telling you, it started, like, Monday night, him saying that was why I couldn't sleep, because he made the comment about the wedding ring.
Okay.
And then Tuesday, her still not coming home, and then him lying to me. And I was just like, oh my God, like, what if something happened? And it was, like, really hard for me to
When you say, what if something happened, what were you thinking?
Like, what if somebody took her? Like, could he possibly hurt her? And that was, like, the first time that I really, I think, genuinely considered, did this man hurt his wife? And it was, like, hard for me to grasp. And I thought about it a lot, and I waited for the night because I wanted to see if she would come home. And it was already pretty late, and I had company, and I was just like, let me just see how this plays out. And my buddy Jim left. I don't know, probably like 9 or 10. Probably it's like the same time he always leaves. And then I couldn't sleep again. It was really bad. And I woke up in the morning and I saw the interview that he had with the newspapers. And he just looked really different to me.
How so?
The light in his eyes is gone. They're like a different color now. It's like he has no soul. I swear to God. I saw it and I was just like, look at his eyes. I saw his mugshot. They're not even the same color. Like when you guys retrieve the pictures that are on my phone, look at his eyes then compared to now. Like, it's the scariest shit I think I've ever seen in my life. It freaked me out. I was like, that's not even the same man that I know. And it was really uncomfortable. But anyways, I saw that report in the morning and I was just to the point where I was just like, all right, like, something happened. This woman is missing. Whether it was him or someone else. I know, like, a woman went missing not too long ago in Longmont. Like, I think it was like 2 months ago or something like that. And you guys, not you guys, but somebody up there called off the search on her. I don't think they ever found her. So I was like, I don't know. Maybe that's connected. Maybe somebody came and got her. Maybe he did something. I don't know. But I knew, like, it was a problem. And at this point, I was like, I'm in a very messy situation with this man. And I don't know what to do. And so I called my dad, because he's like the only person that I trust with everything in the whole world. And I was just like, I have a problem. And I told him everything. And then I was like, we just discussed it. And it was like, we need to go to cops. Definitely. Because I figured you guys would find me eventually. But I was like, I feel like they need to speak to me. I feel like I'm a very important person for you guys to communicate with. And so, you know, and again, I wish I'd have done it sooner, but it just kind of took the sequence of events of his lies and all of his bullshit falling apart for me to process that I needed to address the situation. And so, you know, and the time. And so that to me, and another thing he lied to me on, I caught him on Monday night, he was like, oh, it was right after the wedding ring thing. He was talking about, it might have been before, one of the two, but he was like talking about how he like reflected on North Carolina, and he was talking about how he wanted the separation and all this stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute. I thought you were the one trying to make peace with her, and she's the one who didn't want it. He's like, no, I wanted it. And I was just like, okay. And another thing on Monday night, his breathing was like, oh, it was like his voice would crack sometimes. But I didn't, like, condemn him for anything like that, because I was like, well, yeah, he's probably stressed the hell out. His family's gone. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So, I don't know. So that happened. And then,
he never made any admissions to you about anything that he had done?
Nope.
He never said anything about doing, or at any time, not just in these days, but during your relationship, did he ever say anything about hurting his wife, his children?
Never.
Never. And then on these conversations from Monday to Tuesday, did he ever say that, you know, somebody did something to them, or did he ever give an excuse to you how this could have happened?
No, I mean,
Other than they just were going to a friend's house.
Yeah, or he was like, yeah, I think she's like with one of her friends, she doesn't want to talk to me kind of thing. But
So-
other than that, no. I mean, like, he told me, like, yeah, she said she was with another man, but I think it was out of spite. Like, he never really, like, held that she was with another dude. Like, he never was like, yeah, she's with some guy. Like, she said it, but I don't think she meant it.
Mhm.
It's kind of what he was, like, directing towards me. But no, I think that's why I gave him the benefit of the doubt so long. Like, he's always been such a civil, gentle man to me. And he's always been pretty calm and, like, level-headed when he talks about the differences between him and his wife. And, I mean, that's a sensitive subject. And he never, ever seemed like he was, like, aggressive about it. I mean, he was always just, like, chill. And he never talked ill of his children. He was always so bubbly about them. Like, those were his babies. So when all of this happened, I was just like, what the fuck? And
So that brings me to a question real quick. I mean, I don't think anybody over the last 6 or 8 weeks knows this dude better than you. I really don't. You guys probably spent more time together than anybody. Conversation, whatever, relationship. What do you think? what's the catalyst for this event? Do you have any? Have you had? And I know it's a hard question, but I want to get it out now. We're here. If there's a thought that you have that might lead us to understand a little bit why he might have done something like this. Like I said, I met Chris on Wednesday, so I don't know Chris, not like you do.
You know, I've thought about this, and sometimes I think to myself, if I wasn't in that man's life, would his family still be alive? And I've thought about this a lot, and I think I could give myself different responses. But in all honesty, I think they might be alive,